Good morning. सूरज सिंह, इंटरनेशनल प्रोफेशनल इंजीनियर, चार्टर्ड इंजीनियर, भारत, इंडिया। बिल्डिंग्स के बारे में, बिल्डिंग्स की प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट के बारे में कंटिन्यूशन में ये डिस्कशन, बातचीत आपसे करने के लिए उपस्थित हुआ हूँ। ये है मेरा आइडेंटिटी कार्ड इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ इंजीनियर्स द्वारा, चार्टर्ड इंजीनियर का फेलोशिप का फेलो, इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ इंजीनियर्स FIE, भारत का वो संस्थान जो 1920 में बना। 1935 में उसको रॉयल चार्टर मिला ब्रिटिश सरकार से, आज भी वैलिड। जो भी इसका मेंबर होता है, कॉर्पोरेट मेंबर, वो चार्टर्ड इंजीनियर लिख सकता है। चार्टर्ड इंजीनियर इंडिया, चार्टर्ड इंजीनियर भारत, एसोसिएट मेंबर हो, फेलो हो। मैं भी उनमें से एक, हजारों लाखों इंजीनियर्स में से, भारत के पब्लिक की सेवा में। हम सरकार की सेवा में नहीं है, पब्लिक की सेवा में है डायरेक्ट। और उसके लिए मैं आपसे बात करने के लिए तैयार कि मैनेजमेंट क्या होता है। नमस्कार, आगे चल रहे हैं। पहले मैंने कुछ वीडियो दिए आपको, मैनी वीडियोस आई इश्यूड टू यू रिगार्डिंग दिस सब्जेक्ट ऑफ सिविल स्किल डेवलपमेंट एंड प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट इन बिल्डिंग्स इन पर्टिकुलर। मैं बीच बीच में हिंदी बोलूँगा। मैंने पहले वीडियो दिए हैं 7-8 वीडियो बिल्डिंग मैनेजमेंट के बारे में, प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट के बारे में, जो स्किल डेवलपमेंट पर रिलेटेड है, क्योंकि हमें चाहिए स्किल डेवलपमेंट। हमारे भारत के युवा इंजीनियरों की जो स्किल बहुत कम रह गई, खाली यूनिवर्सिटी पास होकर आ जाते हैं, लेकिन उनको काम करने की क्षमता नहीं होती है। काम करने के लिए स्किल चाहिए होती है, स्किल बनती है फील्ड में आकर, स्किल बनती नहीं है यूनिवर्सिटी से, बनती नहीं है कॉलेज से। आवर पीपल, आवर इंजीनियर्स हु आर यंग कमिंग फ्रॉम यूनिवर्सिटी, they're called building engineers, they must develop their skills, because skills is not granted in colleges. They cannot get their skills in colleges. University, they can get theoretical knowledge from there, but that theoretical knowledge is not linked directly to practical education. Practical education work requires mandatory knowledge, which means just experience based knowledge, not just theory based knowledge. Theory doesn't teach you how to work in field, and to know how to work in field is very difficult, and you must be having practical hands. You must have training on jobs, on construction jobs and design jobs. I'm not talking of design jobs with that much stress as I'm talking of construction job, because in construction job you have to deal with many type of people, many classes of people from top to bottom, and you must understand how to deal with them, how to deal with drawing, how to deal with work. And doing work from drawing to field is a tough job, difficult job, because it needs a skill in you, in how to deal with labor, how to deal with helpers, how to deal with materials, and how to deal with vendors, and how to deal with your staff, and how to deal with public, how to do technique, and how to do method statements, and how to deal with technical queries. All these are required in field, which is very important. वहाँ फील्ड में काम करने के लिए हमको पता होना चाहिए इंजीनियर्स को, नए इंजीनियर्स को, कि किस तरह से सबसे डील किया जाता है, किस तरह से आदमियों से, औरतों से, किस तरह से स्टाफ से, किस तरह से ह्यूमन रिलेशन मेंटेन की जाती है, किस तरह से मटेरियल का संभालना होता है, किस तरह से टेक्नोलॉजी को संभालना होता है, किस तकनीक को संभालना होता है, किस तरह से मटेरियल को संभालना होता है, किस तरह से स्टाफ को संभालना होता है, किस तरह से वेंडर को संभालना होता है। ये सब चीज़ जानना बहुत जरूरी है। जब तक आप ये जानेंगे नहीं, आप समझेंगे नहीं, आप कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे फील्ड में। खाली किताबों से, थ्योरेटिकल नोट से आप बैंडिंग मोमेंट, शेयर फोर्स बाकी निकाल सकते हैं, डिफ्लेक्शन निकाल सकते हैं, लेकिन फील्ड के अंदर इस सब की जरूरत नहीं होती है। फील्ड में चाहिए काम सही होना चाहिए, क्वालिटी सेफ्टी होना चाहिए। सेफ्टी के बारे में मैंने बताया हुआ है, लिखा है कुछ, कास्ट भी है, वो आप देख सकते हैं, उसकी मैं आगे डिस्कस करूंगा। अभी आपको कुछ ऐसे पिछले मैं वीडियो दिखाने की कोशिश करता हूँ जो मैंने पहले भी दिखाए हैं इसमें, लेकिन आपको रिमाइंड करने के लिए फ्रेश कि हमने क्या बात की थी पहले, वो पता होना चाहिए, आवश्यक है वो भी। उसके बाद हम आगे डिस्कस करेंगे हमने क्या बात करनी है, क्या नहीं करनी है। पहले हम ये दिखाते हैं आपको कि किस तरह से हम आगे चल रहे हैं, चलना चाहिए, और वो आवश्यक है। इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू थिंक हाउ टू डू इट फर्दर and how you should move further, which is really very important. And for example, now I'll talk of this video, which is a very important video from point of view. Hello, this is Suraj Singh. This is video for construction project management. Construction project management for a house. Construction project management. An overview. Not for engineers, it's for engineers and managers. This is forward. Project requirements. This is customers. Customers for modifications. The legal requirements for implementation, flaws, social needs fulfillment, Project management concept, project management objectives, analysis to understand who are involved in civil engineering project management industries. This is part 4, project stages, quality, time, risk factors, risk impacts, procurement, communication continues, then project stages, continue, client and owner, charter formation, etc. Implementation stages, part 8, updates, work changes, payment certificates, communications to stakeholders, engineers communication to client, part 10, what areas of knowledge has been refreshed, project requirements, project initiations, project charter, planning for all stages, execution and monitoring. So what is that? Let's say like that. Let us see if I got wrong. So it's going to end this file. I will start something else. Okay. Just told you in this file what was there. I'll tell something else in this because very important things are there. Just simply it's not enough. It's not adequate for understanding this. What we have to do is that you have to see further. Now I'll go to further. Some chapters are there, which are there here. Some chapters are there. References are there in this, which I have told you before also. I am telling you the references here is just for information, nothing else. You cannot use it here, but it's just for information purpose. So I'll go to somewhere else, and that is these are pages here. See, projection of pages in this, and again there's another one, which is these are some projections of text here, which I posted already on this videos text, which is available there, and also this just for in continuation of this. This is a title of this one. This title here. You may remember this is the title of this page. You can just find it from there, from those loaded file on some other website. आप वहाँ से देख सकते हैं, जाके से देख सकते हैं क्या है क्या नहीं, आपको मिल जाएगा, कोई दिक्कत वाली बात नहीं होनी चाहिए वहाँ पे आपको। और उसके बाद में आपको अभी ट्राई टू डिस्कस से पहले मैं आपको दिखा दूँ, बार बार मैं दिखा रहा हूँ आपको, स्टील स्टोरेज खराब करते हैं लोग। देखिए स्टील गंदी तरह से स्टोर की और लाई गई, मोड़ के बार लाई गई, बेंट बार लाई गई, गलत है टेक्नोलॉजी के हिसाब से, बिल्कुल गलत है। आप बार्स को शरीर को बेंट करके नहीं ला सकते, दिस नॉट पर कोड, एंड ये कितनी गलत तरीके से लाया है और रखा है। देखिए ऐसा नहीं किया कि ये इंजीनियर्स को ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए, लेकिन इंजीनियर्स हो तो देखिए वो होता नहीं है। इसी तरह से आप उसको दूसरा फोटो देखिए, कितनी बुरी तरह से ला के इनको फेंका गया है, पानी लग गया, झुंग लग गया, लेकिन कोई देखने वाला नहीं है इस देश के अंदर किसी भी चीज़ को। सब चलता है यहाँ पर, बड़ी दुख की बात है। एवरीथिंग मूव्स हियर, just do whatever you want to do. It's up to you. You are everyone in your life, you have power, you can do whatever you want to do. And that's the problem here. इससे पहले कि मैं आगे आपको बताऊं, इससे पहले मैं आपको चलाऊं, उससे मैं चाहूँगा कि आपको सेफ्टी के पॉइंट्स बता दूं। इसके अंदर जो मैंने इसमें पोस्ट किए हुए हैं इसी वीडियो के साथ में टेक्स्ट में लिखे हैं सेफ्टी के बारे में, ये मैं बाद में डिस्कस करता हूँ आपसे। लेट मी टेल यू व्हाट पॉइंट्स आई रिटन अबाउट सेफ्टी इन दिस पॉइंट्स आर सेफ्टी के पॉइंट्स बता रहा हूँ मैं आपको, टेक्स्ट की पूरी डिटेल नहीं दे रहा हूँ। अब जब हम होते हैं फील्ड में हमको देखना होता है कि कौन कौन से सेफ्टी का ध्यान होना चाहिए। मैं सिर्फ आपको पॉइंट्स बता रहा हूँ, only I'm telling you points about safety because I cannot tell everything. Everything is posted on this video, so text you can go and go through the back side of this. And the just point I'm telling you, because before the red with the steel reinforcement is such handled in such a ducty manner that they got bent apart first of all, and after that they could throw them on sites like anything, and it's exposed to weather, exposed to ground conditions, exposed to moisture and to dust and everything, and gets rusted up while rain is imposed on that. And that's you can see picture which I have given to show you just now. Now safety points, the first safety point must be person of projects, for example index. I'm just telling you nothing else. The safety policy, what should be safety policy on the project? It should be clearly mentioned. The people should be safe. Zero accident policy must be there. Sorry. Then there will be management system must be defined on that. After that is site security. What should be house site security? House site security. Hand tools. What type of hand tools are there? About that details must be given, and we will take separately all these things. First aid regulations, and then permit to work. After that is housekeeping, then safety training, emergency and evacuation plan, fire protection. PPE is a short term, personal protective equipment. Then excavation safety, then control storage and use of hazardous materials. After that is followed by incident reporting, followed by lifting, rigging and hoisting, followed by radiography operations, followed by night working, followed by scaffolds and ladders, followed by temporary electric supply, welding and cutting, working at height and fall prevention, abrasive wheels, construction environment control, hazard controls, confined space entry, road safety and vehicle operation, reward system, compressed gas cylinders, heat stress, safety practices, disciplinary enforcement, safe work, inspection and audits, plant facility project, construction safe relevant sketches, safety related sketches, organization chart. These are points which I have included. ये points मैंने बताए सेफ्टी के बारे में, जिसके हम बाद में बात करेंगे। ये हमने इसलिए बताया कि इनकी सबकी बहुत जरूरत होती है किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट के लिए, है किसी का भी प्रोजेक्ट हो, ये सेफ्टी तो नहीं होगी, प्रोजेक्ट सेफ नहीं रहेगा। इसके ऊपर इतना पैसा लगता नहीं जितना हम सोचते हैं, लेकिन सेफ्टी बहुत जरूरी है। आदमी मर जाए तो उसकी वैल्यू कितनी होती है आप जान सकते हैं। कुछ हो जाए तो कौन कितने आदमी मर सकते हैं, छत गिर जाए, सेटिंग बढ़ जाए, कुछ हो जाए, ये सब इस सब बातों की पहले प्लानिंग होनी चाहिए। और इसके मैंने अलग से लिखा हुआ है एक छोटी सी किताब, वो बाद में आपसे डिस्कस करूंगा। ये खाली क्योंकि हम मैनेजमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं, किस तरह मैनेज किया जाए, तो ये भी एक मैनेजमेंट का हिस्सा है। ये फर्स्ट होता है सेफ्टी फर्स्ट, बाकी बातें बाद में आती है। अगर आप सेफ नहीं तो आप काम करना अलाउड ही नहीं किया जाना चाहिए। दिस इज बिकॉज आई एम हियर फॉर सेफ्टी फर्स्ट मैनेजमेंट, बिकॉज सेफ्टी फर्स्ट इज ए मस्ट। इफ देयर इज नो सेफ्टी यू हैव नो राइट टू वर्क, एंड इफ you miss safety, you miss people, you kill people, you kill project, you waste material. This is all going to happen if you maintain safety. If you maintain safety, fine, you are a good engineer. If you are not maintaining safety, you are not a good engineer, not qualified to be engineer, you are not qualified to be contract, you are not qualified to anything, because you have no right to kill people and right to spoil environment. This is what's important. All these points we'll discuss later. Before that, let's see what chapters are included in that file, which I just explained to you in that file. And that file is here. This is construction project management, which we already discussed before. And this I'm just giving you brief titles of this project. This I worked on 2011, but I just kept it with me and shared with many people. But now I'm just telling you what titles I used in this. And these titles are project requirements, reasons, that's given there, project management, and brief analysis to understand how to integrate project plans and structure sequences of project management knowledge and requirements, risk response plans and risk management plans, communication there. After that is the initiation of project initial charter, constituents and planning, development of project plans, major processes, constituents within planning knowledge areas, integration with development plan, client or owner meeting deadlines to release with documents, bidder or tender meeting deadlines to submit bid, execution or implementation processes, communication channels or processes, involvement by all relevant parties, monitoring and updates the continuous processes during the life project life cycle, lessons learned from mistakes and incorrect decisions, completion and closing of administration and controls. After that is forward of that, and the project requirements, some details have been given in this, which already have been sent. There are many parts in this, and all these parts give very issues. I will not like to repeat in this because it's no use. In many videos I have given this. Just for your information, I'm telling you that this I use and information. And in addition to this was safety issue, which we just talked to, is that safety file is in continuation of this file, which is very important. Titles have given you, and there may be some requirements. And main thing in this, main inclusion in this, there are some the proper pluses, tables, pluses, paragraphs, which tells you all stages. For example, this is in part 5. You'll find this one. Project, this is a process plan. I'm not telling other parts. Part 5 is initiation, project initial charter, which just includes the necessities of project plus policy compliance of economy organization, service that this project shall serve to economy organization, listing deliverables, listing important milestones, listing stakeholders, proposed budget allocation, availability of basic infrastructure to the project or acquisitions requirements, defining scope by descriptive statements, understanding scope by thorough analysis, found on technical or field details are provided corroborated by various technological philosophies, understanding deliverables probabilities with normal good business risk, understanding the risk and requirement of risk management plan, assessment of goals, expected growth of a business, charter formation, charter authorization, duration of project, existence of project, project manager, definition, allotment, allocation of resources, a formal announcement, possible required organization type with champion, designations, definitions of black belt and requirements, and then after this another one, this is regarding planning development, and that is planning duration, scope review and verifications, schedule of missing information, contract review, deliveries listings, deliveries milestones, listings of sub projects, project milestones, impact of liquidated damages, long lead items, major items in project, decision about sequences, decisions about overlapping activities, work breakdown structure, work packages, detailed activities, activities quantifications, time allocation to activities based on resources or resources, driven time allocations, allocations of dates, allocations of direct resources, applications of indirect resources, resources leveling, formation of histograms and S curves, application of material activities, raise the units, rates, costs, and number of man hours, number of equipment hours, permissible variations, hours, probabilities of fast tracking impacts that may be successfully applied, calculation of sub-projects cost, calculation of project costs, budget estimates, planned project histograms and curves, planned inflow of incoming payment certificates, cash expenditure based on planned progress, profit or losses of forecasting, procurement plan on schedule, material approval schedule, drawing approval schedule, staff mobilization and demobilization schedule, type of project organization recommendations, critical execution problems, the competency of personal suggestions, the formation of optimized organization chart, integration of various sub-projects or projects to formulate or produce programs, conferencing proposal among managements, approval and authorization from management, making submissions to client, project cost or finance planning, project organization planning, project quality planning, project safety planning, project systems planning, project communication planning, project risk management planning, project closing project planning, dealing with works suspensions, planning demobilization, defects remedial planning, project management planning, and then part 6 there is another one, and there is a client honor, which is the activities are feasibility studies, budget provisions, fee documents, bid contractual documents, giving general and special conditions, definitions of risks such as liquidated damages, definition of technological licenses, definition of transfer of titles for all procurements, design criteria or philosophies, safety requirement documents, quality requirements documents, bid engineering documents, bid specification documents, bill of quantities, invitation to bid processes, bid coordination and clarifications, bid acknowledgements, post bid negotiations, bid rejection or award, if awarded, appointment of contractor, appointment of formal notification of engineer, resident engineer, authorization of engineer's power, delegation of resident engineers for constitution of project supervising team, and if a bid rejected, invitation of bid again, and that could amend provisions. So there will be two. Then you come to the next charter formation by the tender, by bidder, by contractor, which is a charter formation process. So responses to the documents. The bid may or may not be suitable. In case unsuitable, the deny bid and return documents to client if so required. In case of suitable, respond to client for submitting bid. Bid coordinator announcement, proposal coordinator announcement, bid team members announcement and organizations, mail circulation to all members, specific bid folder intranet sharing, serves bid time schedule plan, attendance of pre-bid meeting with client, raising doubts on bid and its provisions, clarifications on total scope, design issues, prohibitions, tracks of alternative bid to and addition to original demand, site visit with client or engineer and engineer if already appointed, reporting visit and meeting details to sponsor or owner of organizations and board, etc. Various meetings for bid involving estimation manager and complete bid team, invitation to quotes from relevant vendors as listed, invitation to design vendors if EPC, formulating bid in software use, competitions of quantities accurately dates, information comparison of reports, coordination and negotiations with possible or prospective vendors, coordination with possible subcontractors, proceeding technical bids, producing technical bids, execution statements, safety, health and environment plans, quality plans, manpower histograms, equipment histograms, possible vendors, list with operations, options, possible supplies with the list with the options, possible designs, list with the options, design statements, design hours, specialist services document, time schedule, from camping and lodging, site establishment, warehousing, laydown areas, site control, site management, project leader, possible team, key personal CVs and organizational administration documents, capacity of bidder, produce project records and value, engineering on project in case bid is awarded, statement of lesson learned from records, production of commercial bids, direct cost plus indirect cost plus a markup plus additional value to the client if awarded, balancing bid amount, conferencing on parallel bidders or rivals generating their weak points in this bid, innovative technologies is utilized for alternative bid, submission bid review by sponsors, final documents submissions electronically, bid submission in hard copies and soft copies required. Then it's part 7, which is detailed one, then execute supplement processes, etc. That test complete text, contractors further details are required, which are given here. And that's contractor, what we should do, contractor says, receipt of contract awards, inspection and review of all project documents, kick-off meeting, announcement of project reference, authorizing project budget, authorizing project manager, constitution of project team, cost control codes, circulations, project development plan drafting, meeting with the engineer, consultants to discuss the strategy planning, site vision, site take over, and appointment of contractual start date, proposal for various vendors, subcontractors, submission of proposed plan to engineer, consultants for approval, mobilization plan submission, site survey, site soil investigation for validation of soil investigation reports, provisions of all site offices, provisions of all facilities, site fencing, site watch and ward, site fire prevention, labor shelters, labor camping, plus transportation, plus flood, plus food, plus medical provisions, safety provisions, submissions of safety plan, submissions of quality plan, submissions of project management plan, various submissions of method or procedures with engineers, consultants. And after that, there's communication, etc. There are some in communication design for communication records of all live services, drawings from state to local bodies, review and diversion procedures of all such services, dissemination of project scope to all relevant persons and vendors, correspondences, site memos, site instructions, engineers instructions, email, phonic discussions, confirmation, CV approvals for general meeting minutes, contractual meeting minutes plus special meeting minutes, and coordination meeting minutes, and formal meeting, technological meeting, video conferencing, video records, computer records, work photos plus vendor submission approvals, planning schedule submissions, and design planning schedule submissions and approvals, regularly organization charge, job or role description of various personnel, budgetary cost, engineering design deliverables, submissions, review and approval, material submissions and approval, drawing submissions and approvals, general format review and approvals, inspection approvals plus all documents and drawings approved, approvals, registers, technical queries, engineering queries, documents, central controls, working and shop drawings issue, all site issues, daily records of work, concrete records, and hmm, concrete records, technical queries, progress records, cube records, yes. Concrete records plus the cube records plus formal records plus rebar records plus structural steel records, all the stores record, laboratory and material testing management, engineering training records as method statement, staff personality development, and the team builds in relation process Progress management and monthly payment certificates or valuations, all quality management records and the filing system, quality training records, plus the HSE training and execution records, all accident or injury records, safety drill reports, toolbox stocks, smart talk, is smart card plus prevention from hazards and other keeping the site tidy, safety incentive awards, safety walks, best engineers and formal award, best working awards, all changes in the works, all red lines, smart ups and all built lines, all desires and all datas, stis all sealed, documents all over unwalled certificates, all name compliance should be recorded of all such implement elections, punch list inspections and records site walkthrough, records snacks, records and their implementation, defects record plus results, and requirement records plus rework inspections, removal of what major defects, lessons learned from mistakes, quality audits, reports, and from external sources. And this is what is main. Then the explanation, many pages explanation of that, but that will take again whenever we are free from such time and gap where we are tied to now our hands are both hands are tied. So this is what I was talking about. The project stages are there, technical stages which all you should know, and then follow up is for engineers, not for only yourself. So then we have to continue now. While I'll go further on this. सो आई जस्ट ब्रीफ्ड यू, मैंने अभी आपको छोटा सा बताया है बारे में कि मैंने क्या किया है, कौन सी फाइल लगाई है, कैसे लगाई, इसमें क्या क्या कॉन्टेंट्स है, सभी सेफ्टी के बारे में मैंने कुछ आपको खाली इंडेक्स के पॉइंट्स दिए, आगे इसके बारे में बात डिस्कस करेंगे, वो काफी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, हालांकि बोरिंग बहुत है, लेकिन उसके बगैर हम नहीं चल सकता. यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ सेफ्टी ऑन साइट. फर्स्ट यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ सेफ्टी, देन यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ अदर्स पीपल सेफ्टी, देन यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ सेफ्टी इक्विपमेंट्स वर्किंग नॉट वर्किंग, देन यू हैव टू टेक साइट सेफ्टी, एवरी सेफ्टी, वर्क एक्टिविटी सेफ्टी, वर्क सेफ्टी, ऑल सेफ्टी यू हैव टू टेक इन व्हाटएवर वर्क यू आर डूइंग ऑन साइड द प्रोजेक्ट. आपको सारे सेफ्टी का ध्यान रखना होगा, क्योंकि ये जिम्मेदारी आपकी होती है. बेशक सेफ्टी के आदमी साइड पर होंगे, लेकिन ये जिम्मेदारी एक इंजीनियर की होती है, इंचार्ज होता है काम का, काम की इंचार्ज सब कुछ आ जाता है. सेफ्टी भी आती है, क्वालिटी भी आती है, वर्क भी आता है, टेक्निकलिटीज भी आती है, मैनेजमेंट भी आता है, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन भी आती है, सब कुछ उसके अंदर आता है. चाहे थोड़ा थोड़ा आता हो, यू हैव टू डू ईच एक्टिविटी रिगार्डिंग एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, मैनेजमेंट, रिगार्डिंग टेक्निकलिटीज, रिगार्डिंग सेफ्टी, रिगार्डिंग क्वालिटी, रिगार्डिंग व्हाटएवर इज डन इन इंजीनियरिंग, रिगार्डिंग प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट, साइट मैनेजमेंट, your sound safety and other people safety and work safety, machine safety, action safety, and every safety you have to take consideration of that. This is without excluding safety, you cannot go on move. After all, engineer is in charge of a project, means he has to take care of each and everything. This is what is required, and I explain to you all this in the file which I already posted. The safety points will discuss later on. The safety is very important. Safety means first safety is there. If there is no safety, you can do it. Everybody kill on site. People can die. Settings can open, whatever can happen on site, and people can drop from heights. Safety. Safety is first. First doesn't mean top, but first means first consider safety. If safety is not properly taken up, is not affected, means you can face problem for yourself, and others can face on later on you, and you are leader of the site, and you must take care of that. Otherwise, this is no meaning at all. Safety first place. If you are following safety, there is a saying that if you know safety, you don't know pain, and if you don't know pain, means you are okay, and if you don't comply with safety, you shall be painful. This is a saying in that no safety, no pain, and if you don't know safety, you have problems. This is regarding safety and quality. Quality is very important. Quality will just take up later. Now we are going to tell you, and we will tell something about activities on site, because project management contains activities. If you're just going to start a building, you will see you have to do something. But how can you start? You got money, but you have a plan to make a building. आपका पैसा है, बजट है, सब कुछ आप चाहते हैं बिल्डिंग आगे बनाना करना, उसके लिए क्या तरीके हैं बिल्डिंग को पता होने चाहिए. वो तरीके किस तरह के होते हैं मैं ब्रीफ में बता सकता हूँ, एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकता हूँ. सबसे पहले तो आप चाहते क्या है, कि आपके पास प्लॉट है, what you want, you have to plan. So you have got money, you want to construct a building, or promote it yourself as a promoter. Though it is only one house, you have to see that you got one plot. If you don't have a plot, first you buy plot, what's the plot, and you have to conduct survey of that plot. You have to see what points are there, what north, south, that side, everything is there. You have to see all directions and where these points are, what coordinates of the points, coordinates are given in your area, you can use them. Otherwise, you have to find out coordinates, or you have to measure actual points through a survey, or either yourself use that plot from government, then you have to see how it works, what are the zoning conditions of that, but front setback, side right setback, and it must be given on the plan or your allotment letter. Have you got that? After that, you comply with that, then you need a survey plan, you need a permission plan to construct your building, and permission plan is approved by building permit, and that building permit is applied. You have to apply the building permit through your professional, whether engineer or architect there is, and then you obtain a building permit. You have to see what open areas are there, what percentage of cover is there, and what FAR is. FAR means total covered area in a building is called FAR, means total covered area divided by total plot area into 100. That's a percentage of FAR per floor area ratio, that is called. And then You can see how many percent coverage you have to do, and accordingly you have to design. First you have to do architectural designs, architectural details, the architectural details, the elevations, internal, external, both, and what are the spaces and how many volumes, cubic meter of air you are going to get in. This is like that, means total space of horizontally discovered area, and then vertically you have to see what height you have, what elevation you have, how many percent of first floor, how many second floor, and other first. You have to leave this requirement of bylaws of those delegated law, means bylaws are really in cities. You have to follow those bylaws, you have to follow, and you are a professional calculator of this. And once you, then you have to see what are the structural detailing of that. Structural design is very important, because without the structural detailing nothing can move. And if you just coordinate the structure and this architecture, you can get right plan, and that's very important from customer point of view. After you have to see what services are provided, water supply services there, sewer services, rainwater services, gas services, or electronic services, security services. All these services must go into a plan before starting a building, and that must be known what will happen there. What about water storage tank, what about roof tank of water, whatever about other tanks, whatever gas LPG or some other services you are going to do, electrical services, and then mechanical services, air conditioning if you are going to do, some other mechanical services, extract fans and others. You have to take into consider each and everything. बिल्डिंग सर्विसेज को पूरी वैल्यू देनी पड़ती है। पहले समझना होता है कि आपको क्या बिल्डिंग में देना है, आपके उससे कितना पैसा है, आपको पहले बिल्डिंग परमिट लेना होगा, सर्वे करना होगा, उसके बाद देखना होगा कैसे आगे बढ़ाया जाए। बिल्डिंग परमिट का मतलब होता है आपको सारे टैंक सबमिट करने होंगे, आर्किटेक्चर के स्ट्रक्चर जनरली भारत में मांगते नहीं है, लेकिन मांगना चाहिए, पता नहीं क्यों नहीं मांगते हो, लेकिन छोड़िए इस बात को। उसके बाद आर्किटेक्चरल प्लान सबमिट करने होंगे, स्ट्रक्चर की डिटेल सबमिट करनी चाहेंगे, जबकि मांगते नहीं है वो लोग, वो खाली सर्टिफिकेट मांगते हैं। उसके बाद आपको वाटर सप्लाई की, सीवरेज की, रेन वाटर की, हार्वेस्टिंग की, जो जितनी भी एलपीजी की, इलेक्ट्रिकल सर्विस, मैकेनिकल सर्विसेज, सबकी आपको बनाकर मैनेज करना होता है बिल्डिंग के प्रोजेक्ट को शुरू करने से पहले। और ये सब देने के बाद फिर आपको जब आपको बिल्डिंग परमिट मिल जाता है, सब कुछ आता है, आफ्टर having obtained building permit from local bodies or whatever municipality is there applicable per law, then you have to get it done. You have to find a contractor to that, for which you have to start your tendering business, means you have to find some contacts who are subcontractors, whatever they are. For whether it's up to you, you want to labor rate contract, you want to do total rate contract. According to both have no difference, but to an extent only labor rate is paid, means you have to take control of material and yourself, which is not easy job for a layman, but for a professional it's no problem. And this means you have to consider everything. You have to find quantities, quantification. You have to do what structural excavation is there, and what is structural quantities are there, what are substructural quantities are there, and RCC is there, structural steel there, block work or brick work is there. Each quantity you have to find of all items what are involved there, from excavation to handover of finishes and complete log. And turnkey project, you have to see there may be 100 items, 150 items, all quantities you have to find. For example, if you just give you sequences, I just tell you what sequences are. For example, this is a clear ground with nothing here, you got all four quarters of a building or a plot, and then you know there is no problem at all. You have to see soil investigation is very important. Soil investigation means soil exploration is what is contained below ground level, where your building is going to stand or sit in situ, and that important you find whether this is soil of clay, whether soil, sandy soil, whether it is silty soil, where it is you can say water containing soil, waterlogged soil, or it's weak soil, or it's a rock, or a soft rock, or hard rock. All that you have to see through a survey. Either you know locally, or you have to engage some laboratory, material testing laboratory, which is expert. In Gulf countries happens that professional laboratories are available, but in our great Bharat, I am not sure about that. I could not find any professional laboratory so far. But whatsoever, even if professional laboratory is not even able to conduct your way, you excavate some pit 2 meter, 1 meter deep, and find what it is, how it behaves for a couple of months. After rainwater is rain drops there or not, you have to see that how is soil changes. Or can you take a glass? If suppose it's soft soil, you can take a glass of water, put in that, and stir this and completely dissolve this soil into that. And after 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, you will find there's a different layers available in the glass, and these layers tell whether it's clay soil, soil, sandy soil, because sand particles are there. Sand particles always heavier than clay, and silt particles they will settle down to the precipitate down. Similarly, silt particle will be above those particles, and clay particle will be on top. Clay is very light, very fine material. Silt is in between sand and clay. Silt is of course not very fine, but sand is very heavy in comparison to silt and clay. So you will find 3 or 4 layers in that. You can have just an idea what percent of clay is there, or silt is there. Because clay and silt are enemies. You can say one like foreign elements in soil, and sand is also not preferable, but sand can help. Similarly, you have to see clay is there, means if the foundation cannot even get with clay, because clay is a difficult material. So you can say there are so many minerals available in clay, and clay is a non-common not there, alunite layers. These are all dangerous minerals in clay, which means when they come in contact with water, they increase in volume, bulk volume, and clay is swells in, is get to 200% volume, and it's difficult because once when heat is there, or thermal energy there, it dries out, water evaporates, it dries down to forming cracks on that surface. This means when it swells and when it's down, both are the stages, and either your house cannot sink in or it can go up. That's the problem with this foundation. But for that, structural design is very necessary. Where this clay soil or even rock soil is there, you have to do that. Structural design is very important. That means the design of superstructure as well as a substructure. Substructure means foundations below ground level, and superstructure means above ground level to whatever number of stories that are superstructure. It may be 10 story, it may be 50 story, it may be 2 story, 1 story, whatever it is. And substructure below ground is foundation. If the basement as well means below basement, that's called substructure. Basement is the story itself. That's what मैं बताना चाह रहा हूँ कि आपको बिल्डिंग में क्या देखना चाहिए, क्या नहीं होना चाहिए। बिल्डिंग में बहुत सारी एक्टिविटी होती है। सबसे बड़ी एक्टिविटी होती है प्लॉट मिलने के बाद आपको देखना होता है कि बिल्डिंग कैसे बनानी है, वहाँ की सॉइल कैसी है, मिट्टी कैसी नीचे 1-2 मीटर खोद के आपको देखना पड़ेगा। अगर आपको टेस्ट करने की लेबोरेटरी नहीं मिलती है, मेटल टेस्टिंग लेबोरेटरी, तो खुद देखना पड़ेगा, किसी इंजीनियर को दिखाना पड़ेगा। खोद के 1-2 फट्टा वहाँ पर 2-3 महीने तक आपको वेट करना पड़ेगा, पानी डालकर बरसात आने से सॉइल एरोजन से किस तरह की मिट्टी का बिहेव करती है। अगर मिट्टी सही है, सही आपको लगती है कि क्ले सॉइल भी है, सॉइल भी है, कौन सी सॉइल है, आपको उसे सर्च करना पड़ेगा इसमें। अगर क्ले सॉइल और सॉइल जो सिल्ट की होती है बहुत खतरनाक होती है। क्ले के अंदर बहुत सारे मिनरल्स होते हैं, मिनरल जैसे माउंट मोरेलोनाइट होता है, केलोनाइट होता है, इसको फूल जाता है पानी लगने से। पानी फूलने की वजह से मिट्टी फूल जाती है, और जब गर्मी पड़ती है थर्मल रिएक्शन होते हैं, ऑपरेशन होते हैं, वो बैठ जाती है। दोनों ही सूरतों में, दोनों ही हालों में दोनों गलत है। ना तो स्मेल होनी चाहिए, ना वो बैठनी चाहिए। बैठने का मतलब श्रिंकेज हो जाती है, और पानी से फूलने का मतलब वॉल्यूम बढ़ जाता है। दोनों ही खतरनाक है। बिल्डिंग बैठ भी सकती है, बिल्डिंग ऊपर उठ भी सकती है। इस बात को ध्यान में रखते हुए आपको सॉइल इन्वेस्टिगेशन बहुत जरूरी है, जो हर कोई कराता नहीं है, समझता नहीं है। वो सोचते बहुत अच्छी मिट्टी है, उनको लगा बहुत फाइन है, जैसे क्ले होती है, चिकनी मिट्टी होती है, खेती के लिए बहुत अच्छी होती है, लेकिन मकान के लिए अच्छी नहीं होती है। लेकिन वो समझते हैं खेती के लिए अच्छी है तो मकान के लिए भी अच्छी होगी। उसको देखने में स्मूथ चाहिए, वो जब वो सूख जाती है तो बहुत मजबूत लगती है, ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत अच्छी सॉइल है। उनको ये समझ नहीं आता कि इसका पर्पस क्या है, और इसलिए मार खाते हैं सब। जब पता नहीं होता कि मकान किस पर बना दिया, किस मिट्टी पर बना दिया, सॉइल पर बनाया है, मिट्टी पर बनाया है, किसी रॉक पर बनाया है, चट्टान पर बनाया है, किसी और पर बनाया है, ये पता उनको नहीं लगता है, जो जानना बहुत जरूरी होता है। So my dear friends, building construction is not that easy. You are taking into consideration every mason has become a contractor and an engineer. Every mason has become an engineer. Every helper. So don't be misled by those people. उन लोगों की बात मत आइए जो आपको कहते हैं हमको बिल्डिंग बना के देंगे। मैं कोई एडवर्टाइजमेंट नहीं कर रहा हूँ किसी की, लेकिन जिसका काम होता है वही कर सकता है। कोई डॉक्टर अगर इंजीनियर बन सकता है तो अलग बात है, वो गलत करेगा। इसलिए कोई इंजीनियर अगर सर्जन बन सकता है तो वो भी गलत करेगा। ये बात समझनी चाहिए। भारत देश में सब कुछ चलता है, मानते हैं। यहाँ पर गधा घोड़ा सब बराबर है, ये भी मानते हैं। खच्चर बिया यहाँ पढ़ा लिखा और अनपढ़ सब बराबर है, लेकिन ये कहने की बातें होती हैं, हंसने की बातें होती हैं, मजाक की बातें होती हैं। वास्तविकता यह है तो बिल्डिंग है, प्रोफेशन है, उसको समझना होगा। हमको बिल्डिंग के डिजाइन बहुत बड़े दिखनी होती है। हमको ये भी देखना होता है कौन कौन से लोड उस बना रहे हैं, डेड लोड कौन सा है, लाइव लोड कौन सा है, सीजमिक लोड कौन सा है, विंड लोड कौन सा है, थर्मल एनर्जी कौन सी है, और बहुत सारी बातें जो इमेजिनरी होती है, कल्पना में होती है। कितना छत बैठेगी, कितना झुकाव आएगा, कितना ये कॉलम हिलेगा, कितनी बीम हिलेगी, क्योंकि वे बहुत सी टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज में आती हैं, हमारी कैलकुलेशंस में आती हैं, जिसको हम बोलते हैं बेंडिंग मोमेंट, शेयर फोर्स, रिफ्लेक्शन वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह। आपको समझना चाहिए कि क्या होता है बेंडिंग मोमेंट, क्या होता है शेयर फोर्स, क्या होता है वर्टिकल लोड, क्या होता है डायनेमिक लोड, क्या होता है सिस्मिक लोड, क्या होता है विंड लोड। ये सब बातें डिटेल की होती है, लेकिन एक मोटी बुद्धि की तरह से मैं आपको बता देता हूँ। ये सब चीजें हम देखते हैं, खाली ये मत समझिए कि साइड के वजह काम हो रहा है, खुदाई हो गई तो डाल दी, कॉलम खड़ी कर दी, बीम खड़ी कर दी, हो गया बस। बिल्डिंग ऐसे ही बनती है। ये बिल्डिंग का दिखावा है। असली बिल्डिंग तो बिल्डिंग बनाने के पीछे बिल्डिंग होती है, उसका वर्क होता है, टेक्निकल वर्क होता है, जो दिखता नहीं है आपको, क्योंकि आप वहाँ बैठे नहीं होते। इंजीनियर की एक्सेस हर आदमी के साथ नहीं होती है। डॉक्टर के पास सारे जाते हैं, वकील के पास सारे जाते हैं, लेकिन इंजीनियर के पास सिर्फ वही जाते हैं जिसे प्रोजेक्ट बनवाना होता है। इंजीनियर का काम इतना आसान है जितना लोग समझ लेते हैं कि यार तो इतना आसान काम है, खुदाई करो, ये करो, जेबीसी लेकर आओ, भर दो, फाउंडेशन बना दो, उसके ऊपर कॉलम वाल एक साथ खड़ी कर दो और बिल्डिंग डाल दो। लोग इतना समझते जो कि हर बात पे गलत है। देयर इज नथिंग ट्रुथ in what is happening around our cities in this country. Now people are taking it too easily, too easy. That building can be constructed by whatever layman, which is in concept, which is a concept of in concept, which is wrong, which is incorrect. That is not right. Building is very serious material. Like, because if you are designing a building, you cannot laugh every time. Because this does not allow you to laugh, to smile. It's such a complicated study of building designs. Is every engineer even cannot understand. Those engineers who are in field, who never have an experience of design, they may not able to design even a beam or a column because they did not have experience first of all, and they lost everything. And if they come in touch again, it shall be very difficult for them to conceive whatever is given there, and they make mistakes. So both fields are different. Design field and construction field. In construction field, in design there is a headache of design only, but in construction there is a headache of design as well as the headache of working, headache of material, headache of resources, headache of doing correct work, and all these. There's a difficulty in that. मुश्किल होता है फील्ड के अंदर। Means design engineer is one part and real engineer is another part, because real engineer means site engineer site, and that is very difficult working. I'm going to be first. Let me feel sorry for this, please. Too hot weather that previous. तो ये सब बातें मैं आपको इसलिए बता रहा हूँ, कब पता होना चाहिए। से मैंने सरिये का फोटो दिखाया, कितना गलत आपने देखा, सरिया लाया पहले मोड़ के लेकर, देखिए 12 मीटर 14 मीटर का सरिया आता है, फैक्ट्री से आता है, अच्छा होता है, बिल्कुल साफ होता है, क्लीन होता है। टेस्ट करने के बाद आता है उसकी कितनी स्ट्रेंथ होनी चाहिए, उसमें क्या होना चाहिए। और सरिये को एक ही बार काम किया जा सकता है, लगाने से पहले एक बार काट के बेंड करके लगाते हैं। तो यहाँ देखिए, वहाँ तो फैक्ट्री के बाहर ही उन्होंने मशीन से बेंड कर दिया, चाहे 20 mm का हो, 15 mm, 14 mm का हो, चाहे 16 mm का हो, यहाँ तक कि 12 mm का और 8 mm का ही बेंड कर देते हैं। कितनी गलत बात है, वो समझते हैं कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं। आखिर पैसा लगाया आपने सरिये में, सरिया को ऐसे नहीं मिल जाता, सरिया बड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है, स्टील लानी पड़ती है, स्टील की और लानी पड़ती है, उससे स्टील बनानी पड़ती है, उसके बाद उसकी रोलिंग होती है, हीटिंग होती है, बहुत कुछ होता है, कितना लंबा प्रोसेस है। लेकिन आपने उसको लाए, उसकी ऐसी की तैसी कभी वहीं से ट्रक में रख के लिया और डाल दिया। अरे भाई ट्रेलर लगा सकते हैं, ट्रेलर में पूरा सरिया सीधा लेके आइए, 2-3 हज़ार ज्यादा ले जाएंगे, 4-5 हज़ार ज्यादा ले जाएंगे, तो आपको क्या है, जो आप लाकर खराब कर रहे हैं उससे तो अच्छा होगा। चलो आप बेंड करके ले मान लेते, गलत सही, आप लेकर आ गए, खुश हो गए आप, हम लेकर आ गए सरिया, आप ट्रक से लेकर आ गए। ऐसे फेंकते हैं लाकर, जैसे पता नहीं कचरा है, वो लाकर फेंक दिया आपने, पड़ा है नीचे ना, वो सेफ ग्राउंड बनाया है आपने उसके लिए, कोई ब्लॉक नीचे रखे नहीं, ईंटें रखे नहीं, कोई लकड़ी के बत्ते रखने नहीं, कुछ रखा नहीं, मिट्टी पड़ी है तो मिट्टी के ऊपर पड़ा है, कहीं पड़ी है पानी पड़ा है तो पानी के ऊपर पड़ा है, और पड़ा है जैसे अनाथ होते हैं पड़े, कोई पूछने वाला नहीं है। बारिश आ गई तो आ गई, तूफान आ गया तो आ गया, उसके बाद डस्ट जम गई तो जम गई, जंग लग गया तो लग गया, कोई बात नहीं है यार, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, बिल्डिंग में जाना है, कौन देखेगा, कोई जंग लग गया उसको। सोच ऐसी है, देखिए कितनी अच्छी सोच है। मेरा पैसा लगाता हूँ, मेहनत से कमाता हूँ, जिंदगी भर का पैसा है, लेकिन ऐसे फेंक देता हूँ जैसे कोई वैल्यू नहीं है उसकी। अपना ही पैसे में आग लगाते हैं आप, आपको शर्म आनी चाहिए। उन ठेकेदारों को जो बेवकूफ बनाते हैं लोगों को, उन बिल्डरों को समझ आनी चाहिए जो इंजीनियरिंग की एबीसीडी नहीं जानते हैं लेकिन सारे मकान बना देते हैं। उन लोगों को शर्म आनी चाहिए जो पब्लिक को धोखा देते हैं। पब्लिक को नेता ही धोखा नहीं देते, ये लोग भी देते हैं, सारे देते हैं। अरे नेता तो खाली वोट के लिए धोखा देते हैं, आपको उसके मकान के लिए धोखा देते हैं, वो गलत मकान बना के देते हैं, उसको बताते भी नहीं, बस फिनिश अच्छा कर दिया, प्लास्टर फर्स्ट क्लास कर दिया, उसके ऊपर और भी कुछ लगा दिया सुंदर चीज करने के लिए, फिर डेकोरेशन कर दी, अंदर प्लास्टर ऑफ पेरिस लगा दिया, बड़ा अच्छा निकाल दिया, चाहे अंदर ऐसी की तैसी हुई हो, स्ट्रक्चर के अंदर क्रैक्स आए हो या कुछ भी हो, सरिया चाहे शटरिंग को टच करता हो, कौन पूछता है, इस देश में सब चलता है भाई। गिरेगा तो सबका गिरेगा, मेरा अकेले का तो नहीं गिरेगा, गिरेगा तो मर जाएंगे, उससे क्या होगा। सोच ऐसी है। इट्स अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट कंट्री इन फैक्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड, बट दिस country is why just all we people are sleeping, people are, we are non-serious society, and when the society is non-serious, works are non-serious. When we are sleeping society, our works cannot be completed in defined time, and if we do complete this work in defined time, we will lose if we don't provide the quality and we don't follow safety. That is really a problem in this country, and people are not able to accept this fact. Though we are 100, more than 100 million, more than 100 crores people, but we don't understand our value. People laugh at us all over the world, and our politicians have spoiled everything, while these business people like builders and promoters, they have further spoiled everything. Everybody was, oh, no problem, something is, no problem, it's bent, is still no problem. We will state on it. Means they are justifying that as well. If you talk to some builder, some promoter, someone who is contracted, he will say, no problem, we make it a state on it. That's the reason why means they don't understand what they have lost. There is still strength in that. There is high yield strength. And when you take it, once you bend it, there is a micro change there, of course. When you are bending, so suppose you bend it 1 degree, 2 degree, you are bending it completely like this for 80 degree. What do you think about that? You are restating that. This means there are chemicals in steel. Every steel is organic. It is not organic, but this is ore, this is iron, this is chemical. There is a chemical microscope, the electronic movement in that. What we do is first of all like bending it twice, thrice, or doing it and stating this. There is change in its composition, there is change in its structural management, structural organization of steel. If I don't understand that, then thermal energy applied on the cracks, on those cracks, and you are throwing there in the ground. There's a low temperature applied and the high temperature in day and the variation of temperatures. You are not even covering with polar heat, you are exposing it to moisture, you are exposing it to water. It's getting internal stress as well as external stress. Means you get when moisture falls on 2 or 3 times, and particularly the humidity is very dangerous. If rainwater is there, it will fall on this and wash away. Only little surface is there. Humidity keeps on falling, the carbonation, everything happens there, which spoils it. And within 3, 4, 5 days, you see reddish color starts coming on the steel, and that is called rusting. And you are not caring about rusting, just go, okay, no problem, stay, cut it, bend it according to size, and put it on site, and that's it. That rust goes with concrete itself, and this is your quality, this is your safety. You are ending safety of structure, you are ending safety of steel, you are ending safety of concrete, you are ending safety of thermal stresses, you are ending safety of each and everything. You are thinking, I have put that much ton of steel in this building, and this building is very strong. That's your conception to deliver whatever illogical work you have caused, and you have spoiled that building. You can say delivered a defective building structure. You have done that. एक खराब बिल्डिंग बना के आपने गंदा स्ट्रक्चर बना के उसकी स्टील की ऐसी तैसे बाहर बाहर मोड़ के उसकी केमिकल कंपोजिशन खराब करके उसका इलेक्ट्रॉन मूवमेंट खराब करके उसके थर्मल स्ट्रेस का रेजिस्टेंस खराब करके आपने जंग लगी हुई स्टील मिट्टी के अंदर कंक्रीट के अंदर लगा दी, और आप कहते हैं मैंने बहुत अच्छा काम किया, क्वालिटी आपने मेंटेन नहीं की, फिर भी आप तड़ी मारते मैंने बहुत बढ़िया काम किया। ये है भारत का राजा, ये भारत का हर इंसान जो ऐसा करता है समझता नहीं है, कोई बताए तो समझता बिल्कुल नहीं है। पहले दीवार खड़ी कर देंगे, साथ में शटरिंग खड़ी कर देंगे, कॉलम भी काट देंगे, आरसीसी भी कर देंगे, साथ कर देंगे, तो ये नहीं पता हम कर रहे हैं। स्ट्रक्चर अलग होता है, दीवार अलग होती है, उनको ये समझ नहीं आती बात को। एवरी टाइम दे जस्ट गो टू, they have different expert technologies involved. They can do whatever they want to do, whatever way. All others are fools in all those countries. Only we people in Bharat are very intelligent. We can do whatever we want to do. We are a Jugadu country, Jamula country. We are that. We don't care technology, we don't care anything, we don't care calculations, we don't care about something, we don't care about material, we don't care about skill of human being, we don't care about machines, we don't care about efficiency, we don't care about seriousness, and we don't care about awakening. We don't care about anything except do it and make money, and that's all. And if you make money, run away from there. They just speak directly by tongue and then go away and keep on speaking. Oh, defect तो आते ही हैं भाई, चलता है, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है defect नहीं आएंगे? This is logic, this is answer. People speak like this. What can you do? Engineers are not required in this country. Managers are required in this country. In this country, doctors are required, but engineers are not required. Engineers have no space. Those engineers who work in government of this country, in the state government, central government, they are working only for purpose of money making. They are working for making formalities fulfilled, and that is, they have nothing to do with technology. They are not care for technology. Even in this management of metro, because there was some engineer who qualified from outside, worked there outside. He knew how to work at industrial level. It is something, not even 100% compliance with that, but to some extent, of course, just considering to when some accidents were there, some failure was there. Despite that, something has happened, something was done. On other places, you go and say, whatever private building is there, you will not find anything. No structure, nothing. They couldn't go. I had some photograph of one building they just took on the road, and I'll show you how stupidly they do work. How stupidly they take whatever they want to take. They take it, don't care about someone. If I have that building, I'll show him inside. Took a photograph of the building. I was just walking on the road, and I see how it works and how these people don't bother about the structural. They put anything anywhere, and they think they have done very well. This is our world. If I have that, I will try to find. If I have that, I will show you quality of other works as well. Yeah, this is that building. I got it. You see that? Can you see this elevation? Here you see balcony. You see balcony? About 6 feet from there. And somewhere they are adding vertical member, somewhere they are not adding. Wherever they think to do anything, there is no planning, there is no structural consideration, nothing. There's nobody calculating anything, nobody calculated, just did whatever you want to do. No symmetry, nothing. Do whatever you want anywhere. According to don't know what this is. They don't understand that balcony is cantilever, and cantilever can't be played with. Cantilever gets W square 2 means many times there is square 8 to 10. It's many times movement is there, many times deflection is there, but people don't understand. In seismic action, there's 5 times impact on by cantilevers, horizontal cantilevers. In seismic impact, then those which are not cantilever are just supported on 4 sides, on 3 sides or 4 sides. Cantilever is a hanging member. It doesn't permit you whatever you can do with that, but people are doing that, and this is really ridiculous. The whole world, that's what people we have, what architects we have, what engineers we have. Of course, engineers are not hired, architects hired. Architects don't understand what they are doing. They just do for sake of doing and for sake of. But let us see how it stands and understand. And one day when it collapses, nobody will look after that. That is what is done. Then I'll show you some other photographs here. And then you see quality. I'm not talking about buildings, just see quality of what's done in this country. What quality is there? You can see this. There's a drain, I think some drain or water sewer, whatever sewer, I don't know what for. RCC structure of drain is in such a way that as it is not RCC, it is just something which you go on doing your way. No question of how, no straightness, no quality control, no water control, nothing in this. Just because it's a government job, and I really laugh on this, what type of work they are doing. It's very shameful that there's no engineer, no supervisor when this work is done, and it's being done, yet it's being done, but nobody cares. I put this Facebook, nobody took care of that, and this is going on and on and on and on. This is what our country is beautiful about, and we should appreciate our country about this nonsense which we have caused about this. We are not people, we are stupid people. Really, we are stupid. And what drinks are there, what should drinks types are there, we must be aware of that. Now, for example, I show you that what types of drink can be there, and I have many sketches which I worked for myself. For example, I show you, say, this is a group of drawings. I'll show you one by one, but now this is just a group of drawings. For example, for one house is a constructed log back, and there are many drawings for that, which I'll show you now. How many types of drawings are there? You can see in this glimpse. See what how many drawings are there in that? You go just further or whatever, you'll find further in that. See, these are all drawings. Various types of drawings. If you just keep on further, you see. I don't understand why we people in our country are so stupidly living in our society. We don't care for something what will happen in future. We just care for now that we just should be done now, and let us see what happens. If it happens negatively, it shall happen with everybody. This is our main criteria we live with. We don't even care for what result can be there, how the impact can be there, but we go on doing that, and that is really threatening status of our society. I feel it threatened. That why I studied engineering in this country where those studies required at all. We don't need engineering here. We don't need at all. Engineering is not in our custom, in our rituals. We are anyway. Now I'll discuss with you something about a few brief activities of RCC buildings in general for small house or something before going further to details. What about planning or something like that? We should know basic things first. So just I said we अब हमने जैसे का प्लॉट लिया, हमारा प्लॉट है, चार कॉर्नर है, साइड पर डाल दिए, उसके बाद हम सोचते हैं क्या करना चाहिए. We have a plot on site, we have taken position from whatever, even if it is village, it doesn't matter if it is represented by authorities or no authorities. This building permit, no building permit is applicable only in urban areas, not in rural areas. So we are just leaving building permit behind because that is something else, nothing to do with the technology. It is something to procedures of that. And once you have building permit, you will start trying. This means first of all you have to see that what type of drawings you have, what classes of drawings you have. मैं हिंदी में ही बोल देता हूँ, हमारे पास को ड्राइंग चाहिए, किस तरह की ड्राइंग बननी चाहिए, किस तरह जैसे हम कहते हैं आर्किटेक्चरल ड्राइंग होती है जो दिखा देगी कौन से कमरे कहाँ होने चाहिए, कहाँ पर वाल है, कहाँ पर कॉलम है, कहाँ पर वाटर क्लोसेट है, कहाँ पर बाथरूम है, कहाँ पर आपके किचन है, कहाँ पर आपका बैठने का कमरा है, कहाँ पर एंट्री बेडरूम की, ड्राइंग की, डाइनिंग रूम की, कहाँ पर दरवाजा है, कहाँ पर जीना है, कहाँ पर एंट्री है, कहाँ पर एग्जिट है, कहाँ किस तरह का है, कहाँ पर ये सब देखना होता है आर्किटेक्चरल ड्राइंग्स में. आर्किटेक्चरल ड्राइंग की स्पेस की सेटिंग किस तरह हो, स्पेस जो हमारे पास है प्लॉट के ऊपर, उसमें से हम किस तरह से सबसे अच्छा यूज कर सके कि हमारी बिल्डिंग सर्विस अच्छी दे, हमारी सर्कुलेशन अच्छी हो और हवा पानी सप्लाई हेल्थ अच्छी रहे. ये सब देखना होता है आर्किटेक्चरल ड्राइंग में. Architectural drawing means it is required for purpose of spacing, setting or space setting of building on the plot on which you are going to construct your building. How many spaces you have to do? You need a drawing room, you need a drawing room, you need a sitting room, you need a bedroom, you need kitchen, you need toilet, you need bathroom, you need maybe primary toilet, you need principal toilet, you need backwards walls, and you need many other services from your buildings. You need a staircase, you need entry and exit gates and services. You need all that's required. Means architectural drawing is, we can say, a kind of design that permits completes where your spaces should be. And once architect drawings are ready, you must have complete details of top means the plan of every floor, ground floor, basement floor, first floor, second floor, whatever floors are there, all must be designed in architectural drawings along with coordinated structure with that. Stair must be designed in a way it works very well. Then there will be a covered area on top. There may be studio apartment. There is some garden. So that is purpose of architectural drawing. And architectural drawing cannot independently work. Architectural drawing it should be supported by structural drawings. Structural drawings and architectural drawing must work together. If they cannot work together, there will be clashes between what locations architects. For example, architect there wants that there should be a column here, but structural man says I cannot fix column here because it is giving in eccentricity to building. Eccentricity, you must understand what I mean is eccentricity means suppose you are standing in a square, You are standing in center of a square where two diagonals are crossing a point, comes to the intersection of two diagonals. That point is exactly in center from all those four sides. And if you are hanging on that column, you shall be stable if you stay at that point, and that point stays at you in same line. You shall be in a balance mode, and that balance was called equilibrium of your static loading, and that is called center of gravity of that point. And that's what I say. If you structure a structural center of gravity, means all loads of a structure that are coming on a structure, those loads are center of gravity, and central of gravity of area of that building's floor, that is called center of gravity of both in same line, and that is the first requirement. And if you say no, architects doesn't want that, so due to some reason you cannot fix your center of gravity of load in line the center of gravity of area, then there should be out one away from another, and the distance between the two will be different. That is offset of center of gravity, means there shall be additional forces on that building in form of torsion, in form of additional bending moment, in form of additional shear, and in form of twisting of that building. Because during earthquake or during high wind pressure, your building will not be in static equilibrium and will start from one vertically to move, horizontally it will be horizontally may not move, vertically to move. Vertical means vertical dance like that, and vibration means vibration when you stand on the bridge of railway, when train passes through and your bridge vibrates, your building shall vibrate, and that is the situation for building and design consideration. So all CGs, vertical CGs as well as horizontal CGs of loads and horizontal CGs of areas must tally in same line. That is a requirement, but often it doesn't happen because it has to do a lot of work by structural engineers, architects. Only then it can happen. Architects are rigid people; they don't understand. We want to show, we want to see show. While structural man says we want to do correct work, we want to keep a balance of structural loading as well as structural areas covered under loading. That is called CG, and CG both must be in same line. That is basic consideration. This applies to horizontally, horizontal plane, this applies to vertical plane, and this applies to each and every workout of actions and results. This is what is building requirement, which you understand, you must understand. If you cannot understand, you can never understand. Now, say you got one design, it's over. As an engineer, you have done it. As an owner, you have seen it, you have approved this, you agreed that it should be done. We have a plot. We want to see whether the plot is okay or not. You know it's north, it's south, it's west. When you have a plot, you cannot do that because you have already occupied that plot and you have to consider according to bylaws of that area. You have to leave front setback, you have to see side setback and rear setback if these apply. And if these don't apply, you can cover whole area. You have to see where is sewer line running, where is water line running from government, where the electrical point is coming. Accordingly, you will design your plot. Your plot is designed from architectural point of view. It has been designed from a structural point of view. A structural point of view means the structural man says, I want report of soil. You have to provide a report of soil, or he has to do himself, excavate some pit and see what side soil is. Stand on that, see, put water on that and see what actions and what response this soil gives. If you think that this soil is sandy soil or silty sandy soil or clay sandy soil, it's a soft rock soil, and you feel that this 2, 3, 4, 5 story building can be made on this, can be erected on this, then you can continue with that, assuming some safe bearing capacity. If you cannot solve this, or you can solve this, means say take safest bearing capacity on that. Safe is such a thing we can. There's no water table above and water is far below that, and if you transfer, they can go there easily, and there is no side expectation of water coming from sides. All that you can do that. Or you can replace some soil below if soil is bad. A soil replacement, the improvement of soil, improvement soil can very easily. Means if you think that this is clay soil, this silty soil, this doesn't help building supporting system, then you have to remove say 30 to 40, 60 centimeters of soil from below foundations and remove that. Put up there a structure like a road is constructed. What about macadam road? They put some gravels there, and then the voids of gravel be filled with this lower size gravel, and then with sand or something or dust, and compact that in that layer. You can say now soil bearing capacity has been improved because we have removed that bad soil from below building coming into touch with building foundation and replaced with a granular material that is called granular material, which has got interlinking. If you have granular material, it links all together and it's enhancing bearing capacity of that area, because if this building sits on this area and then transfer its loads to below, means this will help transferring load to below in the safest way, and that is called soil improvement of that area. And soil improvement done by you is like a foundation. It's like means additional foundation to your foundation, and then transferring load to weak soil below or weaker soil below, whatever you consider that. And you consider 10 tons bearing capacity. 10 tons means 10 ton load can be taken by 1 square meter of that area, or it can be 8 tons or 5 tons or maybe 20 tons. It depends upon what you use. If your area is fine and you think that it will work, you can take that if water doesn't come up. Okay, that is point of structural consideration for foundation. Then the question is structural skeleton. Structural skeleton means what is foundation design and what is foundation structure. Maybe beams foundations, or maybe isolated footing foundation, or maybe raft foundations, or maybe some other kind of piling foundation. Piling or raft combination, or is it piling or some other combination. If there is no need of piling, you don't go to so many higher levels of 150 meters, and you can just depend on raft foundation. Raft means a mat foundation. A mat foundation means a foundation which is integrated, one connecting all columns together into one unit with beams and all that, acting as a unit in a one unit for whole building foundation. That unit, if sinks, will sink together. If it doesn't sink, doesn't sink. So if it tilts, it's for this very difficult until there is a specific fault in soil. So that structure is called raft structure. It's called combined footing structure. It can be called connected frames for all building from column to column and beam to beam. You just connect by certain beam and then take out the columns from there. That's called a beam structure. You can say a meshwork of beams. No space for bricks there. A full all that, and on sites where there exists soil, you can take retaining walls on that. And a retaining wall in combination of columns and structural walls shall give you a integrated structural one which can take your loadings which you designed for, and that is what is required there. I will give some sketches of that as well, just after talking really after activities, because what activity is very important. If you don't understand activity, means you are like a person in darkness. You don't know what people do, and I'm not going to explain you in each every details. I'm just going to tell you this type of activity exists, just like I told you structural design exists. If I talk of structure, it will take many days to talk. But I'm just talking in a titular manner, in a facial manner. You should know that there happens like this. For soil testing is required, soil improvement is required, grain filling is required. It is that way. And then you say question of filling is over. Now you want to construct substructure, means foundation. You know what design is there, and accordingly if suppose is isolated footing design, you can do isolated footing. They call choke in our language. I don't know what that means, but there is foundation blinding concrete is done. Blinding concrete is called lean concrete in our country. Blinding concrete means a concrete that just remove unevenness of soil. It just makes a basis, maybe 5 centimeter thick or maximum 10 centimeter, not more than that. That surface below foundation, that is called blinding in our language. Of this called lean concrete here in our country, Bharat. But whatever name doesn't make a difference. But it means you are putting a layer of concrete which clears that ground for receiving real foundation on that, and that's called blinding in my understanding. And you can say they call it lean concrete here in Bharat. Both are respected, no problem at all for me, because lean concrete indicates the strength of mix. It indicates the value of mix. If this concrete lean itself means a weak concrete. It's not going concrete of that state which can be inserted in the structural work. It's just for making surface good, and that is it, nothing else. We got blinding. Blinding means same. If there is any void, there's a rough surface, it should be covered all, and that's a blinding of that. No soil cannot see anything. Soil has no eyes. It has been covered by a concrete layer, which is called blinding layer, and above that we apply foundations. So let us what items are there. For example, I've gone blinding your reason. We start doing foundation work. We start doing steel bending, cutting, etc. according to details given, and then we erect settings on foundations along all layouts. After layouts are made by some surveyor or someone else, and these foundations and the steel fabricated meshes there, and erecting columns there. And from starter columns to column which goes only up to ground level, little above for overlap purpose. And then there may be some beams below connecting all footings, and this type of foundation is called ordinary foundation, spread footing. This means you have to decide each foundation together, each isolated footing, or they call choky, that you have to design together, and accordingly you have to cut a seal and put there for shear forces, for bending movements, and for other forces. These are called cantilever footing as well, because cantilever in the sense there is a column, and around column there is a footing we call that, but there is no other fixity there. Means if there's cantilever hangs from slab, there is a chhajja you call it. That is the cantilever that way, but this is cantilever foundation below way. There's a column, and from this choko down footing, spread footing, its sections are cantilever actions, not good actions, because cantilever is more actions, takes more forces, undue forces. If we If you result, if just treat it as it is a choky or as isolated footing, so that is called foundation. But you have to calculate everything. You have to see steel is to be fixed properly. There should be covers fixed. Covers means covers where concrete is coming, and after that steel comes in from shuttering. And that cover is important for concrete, and because it saves life, it protects life of concrete of RCC, because water doesn't reach there, rainwater, smother water. And that is cover, concrete cover is very important, which varies for, from element to element. For example, in foundation it can be 50 mm, even 60 mm, while in walk columns it can be 40 mm, 30 mm, 40 mm at least on side vertical sides, and in beams it can be 30 mm, and in slabs this can be 20 mm, 25 mm. Slab means suspended slab. Like that we can say this is column, this is a beam, this is structure, and this is monolithic costing. All must have required thicknesses of covers, and these are done. That's covers. So you have done structure of foundations, you have put shuttering there, you have put steel there, reinforcing bars, we call that, and after checking there's no services there, you just bring concrete and start these footings, and that's one activity. And then you, after casting these footings, you raise the small columns which are going to the ground level. The small column maybe 2 meter depth or 1 meter depth, and you can just say put all these columns, check their alignment, check their verticality, whatever is there, check covers are fixed properly or not fixed, and then you can say okay, do concrete for them, and you do concrete for them. Yes, you concrete for basis of these columns, you concrete for step columns of these, then you concrete for if there's anything lying there which is dangerous to that, which must be removed. That's another activity. Now we have done this. We have done foundations. We have to cover beams if there. Then fill back. When before filling that, you have to apply waterproofing protection. What is that in fact? Actually, there's no waterproofing. It is protection of from bad soil surfaces of concrete. There are bad soils. There are soils containing sulfates, chemicals, others which are not good for life of concrete, and for protection of that. We don't want that our concrete should be in contact with soil in future, because if you're backfilling with soil, if you don't backfill with soil, you can avoid that. But you're backfilling with soil means soil contains chemicals, soil contains minerals, soil contains anything, and that bad effect while water comes in contact with that material and chemical, both the water is chemical, that is chemical, both chemicals work together and change the structure of the soil. It eats soil or decays the structure or decays building or decays surface, whatever harmful effect it can bring to that, it brings in, and we have to see that for its isolation, we have to provide some protection of concrete surfaces, horizontal portion, vertical, both until ground or plinth is reached. That may be bituminous application paint, that may be waterproofing of surfaces, that can be any other chemical composition by brush or by spray, there will be whatever you call that. There will be tape plate, something like chemicals, and we use that to protect the surface from being impacted, adversely impacted by effect of moisture or by effect of rain or by effect of water penetration through soil or by effect of whatever elimination level, which I cannot say here everything, but should be understood. That's what we want. And then after that, once you take this, then you start backfilling, and backfilling can't do haphazardly, they do haphazardly, they don't know about the backfilling. To my advice, I would say if you have coil excavated soil, don't do that. Means clay execute, you excavated soil, you have put on ground itself. Okay, you put on, you do not take it to isolation area because it's very small project. So what you do, you fill this with that soil itself. You don't even understand what is that soil. You don't even analyze what is that. So you fill it just for sake of your pit is filled, and you don't need bring it from outside and spending money on that. But you don't know what you have filled. If you have filled clay, it's dangerous. If you have filled it with a mix of clay, sand, and dust, it's also dangerous. It's dangerous because you have to compact filling. You are not compacting. You have to compact filling in layers from ground, and this is 20 centimeter thickness must go to 25 centimeter thickness must go to 200 mm or 20 centimeter. In layers you have to fill, but nobody bothers. Or JVCs, they are bring JVC, come push this heap of soil, push this mound of soil into this, and they do like this. Okay, then put some water and yalla hoya. This is what they say, but that is nonsense. You don't know what soil is. You really don't understand. Soil is very dangerous. It is very good also. It doesn't act immediately. Soil means it has many actions on this. Immediately, even if you use machine, you use water and compact it, it is called compaction. Compaction is pack more and more. More and more particles of soil must go into unit volume, and that's called compaction. Water, when you use water and then compact, water removes air blocks from that, air bubbles from that, and other hidden items from that, and it reduces the volume of soil. It's called compaction. As much as you can reduce that, and that is called 90% reduction, or 95% reduction, or 100% reduction, or even more than that. Sometimes it happens, and that is called Proctor density check. We check this density and say yes, it has come to agreed ISO agreed code value. It may be 95. There are various percentages applicable for various issues. For example, if you are filling soil below a structural loading, it is 98% you have to obtain. That is a product means everywhere, not less than 98%. It's not permissible. If it's not in a structural load area, is example in your open area where car may come, somewhere else come, it may be 95%. It may be. Or it may be some areas where no loading is expected, it may be 90%, but not below that. So there are, you can say, heavy loads, there are middle class loads, or there are low loads, but we have to see that what is percentage computation you have done, what Proctor density is there. You have to take that into consideration, but you don't know that. Nobody told you. Contractor doesn't know, builder doesn't know, you don't know, nobody knows. Who shall tell you? You have to understand if you are an engineering person. If you are not an engineering person, this is not your fault, this is a fault of nature that they did not allow that honor to get one engineer. And that nobody bothered. Oh, put it, come on, don't waste time. I have to sell this building after polishing. That is in mind. They fill, say, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet of fill in one go, and put some pipe there, and in one day it will take care of this. This is our nonsense understanding. What I should say, this is seriousness or not seriousness? They are sleeping or not sleeping? You tell me, what should we call ourselves? This is not 1 rupee job, this is not 2 rupee job, this is jobs and crores you are spending on a building. Even if you are making a very small building, you are spending maybe 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs on that. You earn 25 to 30 lakhs just by water? What do you think? You work whole life in your, or you got loans from bank and you say pay back the loan, you earn only then pay back. So you are doing spending of that you can say extent just by water, just by ignoring structural values. So you are spoiling your house, you are spoiling your future, you are spoiling your money in the working in haphazard and illegal and ill-planned way. If I am telling this, I am considered bad because he doesn't understand. He is an engineer. He talks like this. He came from outside this country. He speaks like this. But it's not my speaking. It is a requirement. You can go and read any code of world, American code, British code, European code, country or in this country code, whatever code you see, you'll find same thing. There's no difference. But who reads codes? Who reads this? These are written. No need of code. You can go road read and engineering. You will find that book written by the author. This is common sense. It is common sense. You have taken a excavated soil and thrown there, then it will, just like you open a cement bag and cement starts jumping up. Same thing is in soil. It's not jumping up. It's open. It has loose. Its compactness. It loses package. So you are using now a loose soil. You're not using a compacted soil. Purpose of compaction is that you have to bring it to previous stage where it was there for many years, many decades. And a compaction is that. And after compaction, there is another property of soil that can be achieved, this is consolidation. Means you brought first level of consolidation by compaction. You solidified that soil from loose soil. You use water, you use compaction, and you solidify to some density. That's called solidification of soil. And then after 20 years, 30 years, even 50 years, it will be further consolidated gradually by atmospheric action, by natural action, by its own weight action, and by whatever means it is. It shall solidify further, and that is called consolidation. You may achieve in 50 years, you may achieve in 20 years, you may achieve in 10 years. That is called consolidation. That Proctor density is 98%. Maybe it is now 110%. It can be. That is called strength of foundation. If soil is well consolidated, well compacted, well managed, foundation is given more strength, more resistance, which is required. Because if water penetrates from there and is too much dense and too much consolidated, it will resist to some extent, because water doesn't move like a river, it moves through pores. In clay, it cannot even move because clay is porous. Porous means it has pores, it has content to contain your water, but these water particles in soil are not allowed to move gradually in a laminar flow or in a very, very slow flow, because pores don't allow water to flow in. It is permeable. It is not permeable. It is porous. Porous means there can be any percentage of porosity, but these voids in soil are not connected in a chain to make a pipe so the water can flow. But in sandy soil, these flow, there's no restriction on flow moves, because in soil, sandy soil, there are pores too close, but in the clay soil there are pores, but they are units, they are not connected together. And permeability means you can permit to flow freely, that doesn't allow flow. So this is difference between soils. Clay is not, clay does not allow free flow. Silt is semi between flow stage and no flow stage, while sand allows free flow. A rock allows free flow. In rock, there is no restriction. Of course, it is soft or hard. Water can move into the particularly sedimentary rocks and a metamorphic rocks. I'm not talking of igneous rocks or Jalamukhhi rocks because that is too solid. There is no porosity. But this is because a volcano, this is you can say Jalamukhhi volcano rock. It is very, very strong if it's not fissured. So you must have a basic understanding of what soil is. If you cannot understand soil, means you are spoiling your building and money. If your base is soil and the soil is good, packaged soil is very good, it will not yield, it will not allow building not to move, not to displace. There are so many factors. Okay, now we come out of soil and we say we filled soil, compacted it, and the ground is ready, and we say we want to ground slab on that at plinth level. And plinth level, you must know, a level say about 2 feet or 60 centimeters from existing ground level to your floor level. That is called plinth distance, means existing ground to your finished ground level of ground floor. That is called plinth level. Up to plinth you have come, that's called the substructure. And then what people do after doing all this structural work, they make beams, and I see some stupid people, they are going again to concrete level on that. That's called Baba Adam ke Zamane ki DPC. These people don't understand what they should do. So we say that we have come up there, and before that, closing all this, you have to take care of sanitary services, sewerage services from internal part of building, from your kitchen, from your toilet, from your bathroom. You have to connect these parts, these points of these wet services to a point where outside manhole is erected. To that level, you have to serve these services to reach there, and that is called services below ground level. If there is an electrical duct required there to manhole of electrical, that duct also you have to place. And if there is some other service required to be placed, then you can place before filling that. And now you have filled that and you have compacted that, and engineer has given the clearance if it's so required, that get a clearance from me before finalizing it, and you have taken now that you have done that, and that's all your structures, you can say almost structurally you have done that. I'm just telling you in a gross way, in a guiding way, not in technological way, not in a detailed way. That must be explained to engineers only, or those people who are involved in field of execution of buildings, or in field of other designers know this. A qualified engineers know this. Only for public dissemination of this information, I know they will not understand as well, but dissemination of information is very important. Just like a doctor teaches his patients what they should do, similarly I'm teaching my patients what they should do. My patients in engineering, I'm not saying my particular patients, it's not for them, it's for the whole world who are there. Now we say that we have done foundations, wall footings, we have done beams if there was, and we have done oil application to protect the soil, and we have done this backfilling, and now we have to do ground slab work, which we generally don't do here, which is very important. When we have done this, means ground at filling level, and thickness of this slab, say 15 centimeter, should be spread on this ground between all beams and walls. We have done, and that is called grade slab. Name is graded slab, or graded slab you can say, at ground at plinth level, and this should be free from all beams of ground columns. It should be freely moved. That's what's on this you can form directly your ground floor finish. So now up to grade you have reached. So there are many activities involved. Shutting was there, steel was there, backfilling was there, concrete was there. You may say the application of DMAC, what you call it, anti this pesticide, application of pesticide to kill DMAC and all those white ants. There was an application which could be done before doing this blinding, etc. This before that. Now let's go to superstructure. What is superstructure? Structure above ground is called superstructure. The structure above ground, floor or plinth level, and to whatever height it is, whatever slabs it is, That is called superstructure of building. There was substructure below, I just discussed with you, and now it is superstructure. Superstructure is generally contains a framing of column and beams, a structural framing which takes loads from slabs, which are called diaphragms nowadays, thin slabs. It means any slab in there you call lintel in your language, that is actually a thin slab, and this connected with beams and columns. It should be in monolithic way, but generally if it is not in monolithic, it doesn't mean that it is bad, because columns after you have to do both. And if you can erect even beam and slabs together, if you don't take columns, that doesn't make a difference. Hence, you have to do one thing. If you take beam and column together, no problem. And if you take this in separate way, also no problem. It depends upon how you're taking it. If you're considering this, there should be an integral structure. This will be monolithic structure in effect. That's important. So generally, we raise columns together, one by one or in groups, whatever it is. You may take columns, shutterings, and steel fabrication at site if you have space, and because fabrication is very important. Fabrication of columns and fabrication of column, you can say fabrication of beams and fabrication of any other urgent item you need there, you can do that. And at same time you have to prepare concrete covers. People are buying plastic covers, which is not good one, I can say. It is good in delaying time, but it's not good for working. So we go further and we think about what we are talking of. You have bar bending schedule with you. Somebody gave you bar bending schedule, and according to that, you have to cut and bend your steel. Somebody has given sizes of columns. You have to prepare sides for work. You may use ply or battens, or you may steel plates of that size. Whatever you have with you, you can get that free of cost, because that is required. So you have, say you have many columns, you prepare we prepare three sets of these columns, and prepare steel for each column. Then you erected those steel on site and you shuttered columns. First you have to make space for bottom area of column. That's called generally it can be done without that also, but they say this is क्या कहते हैं यार, बांध रहे हैं नीचे इसको, I'm just tying up this so that its erection of shuttering is okay. That's called that one. So you erected your steel bars with rings all together as usual, by calling design. You erected that and you shuttered this in your desired height, which one it costs. It takes of course some time, but I'm just saying that to do it, it will take a lot of time. Okay. So now you start that one by one. Maybe I always support up to 4 meters you use one go. What people do here, they're going to use this height 3 feet and then another 3 feet. No, don't do like that. Better do column in one go. Give some size of column wider. Don't say very small column. It doesn't work. People don't understand. I've seen like, oh, this is 9 inches by what do you call it? I don't know. 9 inches by this is only 27 inch, or she has taken 19 minutes in mouth wearing. There may be something like that. This is wrong. Don't think like that. Because one go of column is fine. Means you pass concrete if you have that equipment with you. For example, you have your batching plant, or you get concrete from batching plant, defined design, and you have a good vibrator nozzle to reach to that location in column's base successfully, and you can have concrete supply by concrete pump to that column top level, so that it can be brought down using that vibrator going down, or pipe of pump going down at bottom of column, and then gradually takes up after delivering concrete in layers of 40 centimeter layers, 45 centimeter layer, and many times drops, and that's called wastage of columns. Oh, right. If you are able to do 4 meter casting, I'll be happy. Means little wider section of concrete, that will give reduction in volume of steel. Now what happens? People are using thick steel, 25 mm, 20 mm. I don't know what's the purpose of that in small buildings. No, because your span is not much. You are just getting 3 meter room, sizes, 4 meter room sizes, and accordingly you're using columns. If your columns say one frame, when the frame is 5 meters, or your one column is 4 6 meter, I accept what you're saying. Size should even be more than that, still okay. But here, irrespective of knowing what size should be there, column and what size of die of steel should be there, they're just putting everything on casting. This is not professional work, because casting is not, question is not of casting, question is of what you are casting. If you are casting based on designs and based on requirements, it's fine. If you are just casting for sake of casting, then that is okay. You are wasting money, your material, and nothing you are achieving. You are not achieving anything. So once you are ready with columns, say few columns you have erected and you are ready for receiving concrete to them, and you have placed in some piping for sanitary, or for not for sanitary, for electrical supply, moving on wall as fixed unit and going to your location where light work is available. There you can have this. You can have this, and you go, once you put shuttering in such a way that it is well supported, not simply you are just putting shutter closing. No, 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 it's not like that. When concrete pressure comes in, this can follow. This opens. You have to fix a strong shuttering that doesn't open during concrete. Open means sides are slackened or loose, and it cannot come back until it's completely removed and allow concrete waste. That is in this point. Okay. Your columns are now cast. You waited for 48 hours. After that, if it is too hot, you applied curing from outside of surface also. You applied curing from above. And column curing is not easy because it is vertical member. After 48 hours, you kept it cold from outside also inside. You took out formworks because you have to do somewhere else. First, you have to make them good, and then you have to deposit that. Then, what you did, columns are ready. You have to cure after removal shuttering for 48 hours. So 48 hours, you have to spray with water, all sides. And if you have curing compound available with you, it is water based or wax based, I will recommend water based, because wax based means wax forms a layer on the surface after drying out of this curing compound, and which sticks to surface of concrete later and doesn't come out easily, and you have to do plaster maybe on that. If you don't have to plaster, that's different. If you have to do plastering or rending on the surface, then you need that surface rough. So you have to chip out all that wax management you did before, and then even shuttering of some surface of concrete which are not watery, you have to even both. And people do that if possible. I don't know. So you either wrap gunny bags on your columns. If you don't want to use curing compound because it's expensive, then gunny bags can be used, or covered with spotter spread on that, and plastic layer is covered until 7 days are over. If you can do that, fine. And if you can do that, don't make ha ha ha, yes, yes, yes. Don't say yes, yes, yes. If you can make it, if you do like this, you do it. If you don't like this, you are not capable to do that, don't do that. Now column issue is over. After follow up columns, there are other ways you have to check into. Now what happens? Defects in columns, when you remove shuttering formwork from that, you will find that some area is porous, is rough, as if no concrete is there, or there's some void left, means by mistake nothing to do left. Because when you are doing concrete, vertical members, you are vibrating, but your vibrator was, maybe it is striking a steel or something else, it could not reach real location of concrete, or could not even pour that concrete, and it's now like sticking, and you cannot say that it's strong. In that case, you have to repair it first. If there's hollow or void or any bad surface, you have to chip out that all together. And after chipping out, you can repair that with epoxy. That will be cement epoxy or other epoxies. You can repair that. Now you have repaired that also. So your columns are ready to receive your beam slab. Though work already started of supporting system, and you know where support has to come according to beam design which you have, according to your slab design, beam design, all are free. You have raised them. What shall we do now? Think on. Any other work is there is solution. There is no work at all. So Start your beam work of suspension of beams and balcony work. If you have balcony continuous, start the surface, horizontal surfaces, and then vertical surfaces, and then cover ups. Yes, one thing I forgot to tell you was concrete covers, which are very important point. Just before going further, if you use plastic covers, several market, I'm just telling you, plastic covers are not very strong. It's a brittle cover, and this can't take load very good in a very good manner. These can take if you're using 2 3 days, but on this foundation it may be possible, but otherwise it's not possible in a practical state of understanding. You make some block of timber and make a good platform and put on that, and this take concrete from there, and whatever centimeter of cover you need, 20 mm, 50 mm, 70 mm, 100 mm, you cut out whatever size, 4 feet, 5 feet, and in that 3 centimeter or 3 4 centimeter or 5 centimeter covers, you can you can say cut and let them be there in small pieces. These small pieces are given wire is binding by itself and connected to every member here. These covers shall come on sides of columns, and these covers will be provided on top, as well as these covers will be provided on side of column, because side of columns as well as on beams, and beams is a 40 mm is okay, and columns 40 mm is okay, and 1920 mm, not 47 40 mm, and 1920 mm is maybe somewhere near to I, but why say I not, it's not available. Once you keep columns and covers, and you know that there is no other problem, you have understood what solution is, you know what solution is, and then create after measuring distance from bottom to Modi's level, PM's level, maybe 400 levels, maybe 600 levels. There's no shortage of what you think, and you have standard items with you of columns. Columns will be continued. You cannot waste time. Continue further other activities. Agriculture activities. And after suspension systems ready, we call it preparatory works, engineering, preparatory works of buildings and building work like that. Now, columns are ready. You have started beam shuttering, and beam shuttering along with your slab shuttering, because that is must be one monolithic. Suspended slabs, suspended I am calling, you must understand that first of all. Slab is resting on four sides, either on wall or in columns. This and beams with this, and no beams maybe is a slab only. So it is called suspension system. So cantilever is hanging. This is suspending on four sides. There's no base to rest on. That is called, it is suspended item. So we have to prepare for slab work as same as column and steel and electrical conduits and AC blockouts and whatever is required there. If there is any wet service, you have to take care of that, and we keep it ready for pouring after instructions from government bodies are conducted correctly. That we have to do. Somewhat 1 minute, 1 hour, 32 minutes. Okay, no problem. Now your slab, you have seen reinforcement is in place, conduits are in place. It's okay, you think so. Chairs are there. Chairs means if there are two layers, bottom layer and top layer of reinforcement bar, it must bottom bars are supported by concrete covers, but top bars cannot be covered by concrete covers. We have to provide something else so the cover is established. So there's one shop here in 21D. We get material from this. IT will Now slab is over. You have to do casting, and before that, you have to check levels of slab, what height it is from existing village level. That bottom of slab you have to check each and every point on slab, and once you check the point is okay, there's no deficiency in structure, you can say okay, I have done it. You manage yourself. You are going. I am going to I am going and then if levels are not okay, don't accept. If there is say half millimeter or 1/4 millimeter, okay, that is acceptable. But if there's something like this or something like that, don't accept. It is plain strict accept. because you cannot repair it otherwise. Slab is very thick element. You have no way to repair it. What you should know, if you are satisfied that, what I'm saying, you miss your engineer, whoever is, your owner, whoever is. You done it, you approved it through yourself, though you got checked also. Checked, yes. Hmm. Then you have to pour it. You have to make a plan, pour it. Because this is not easy concrete. This is not slow concrete, this is fast concrete. If you do it slow, it's no use. If you do it fast, it is full use. Hmm? So you can say that I am pouring concrete, let's call concrete pour. On that is pour, you have to supervise thoroughly. You have to deploy some skilled persons, some mechanical persons for purpose of waxing that machine. Now this is oil, you have to wax it. That's it. Hmm. All right. Maybe you think I'm drawing. I'm not drawing. It's not that. I'm just thinking of what to tell you. So I don't want to tell you the professional names. I will tell you easy names which you can understand very well. You call it lenter, so you have concrete lenter. But don't run away. You have to cure it. You have to immediately start curing also. But if you are curing the amount, start curing the amount on that. Once it dries, setting out. If you don't have curing amount, some sprinkle water, some water so that there's no evaporation of water from concrete. And it doesn't spoil. If the water evaporates, means there's nothing left. So you have to do that from one corner to other corner and see finishing is fine. You have to think that also. If finishing is going to receive some levels from from two Mahagan, this should be something to government people. Now you have to see that your money is going to government, and government is making correct use. So in response to that, you have checked levels, you have checked profile of surface, you have checked verticality, you have fixed level of which concrete has come, and you pour it, keep some masons there, some laborers there to handle the concrete and take from ground where your mixer is and shift to your slab level. And maybe it is 40 cubic meters, 50 cubic meters, there is only one service or two service by requirement in their office in their place that people are sitting here and there and they're working on that. This happens. Slab is cast, water curing starts, cover this with gunny bags with Haitians and then cover further with polythene. Sheets don't live like that. If you live like that, you will lose something. Cover with, put your surface around columns, surface around slab, on slab everywhere. It must be wet all time, at least for 3 4 days all time. If even half an hour gap, you cannot miss. You have to do that. And for that purpose, we will take connections. Connections are there. Hmm. So now let's go further. You have done slab very well. Now we are going to another slab on top. Yes, one more thing before this. Go on. I did work. Of course, you have to work on your other structures that are connected to staircase of slab and other structures which are not covered by chemical composition. That's also very important. So one slab you have done, you work on stair. Stair is very difficult work because even after designing drains you have some confusion exactly on site itself and you have to resolve that. Otherwise you may get defective stair and defective stair doesn't work at all. Defective maybe miss one step, you miss two steps or something like that which will not work for you. So this is called structural slab plastic activity. You have put electric pipes and conduits in that. You have put ducts and blockouts there, where water closet is coming, where bathroom tub is coming, and where all this happen. Now you may say now for third achievement I have been to many countries. Now PM has been many countries. We got something from there. We got negotiations. Well, that matter is nothing to do within this. We are talking technical, even technical. The technical importance is very big significance nowadays because people are not well aware in colleges what is going on. So you have to then bring scaffolding also. When you slab, you have to use scaffolding around and supporting system below that, so that it is well working system with vertical resistance and horizontal resistance, all that. And you then, if you are not done staircase with that, you can do it now. Staircase setting is very important, and that must be seen as in an action. Ground floor. you know, substructure situated. You have the first floor. Now you have another team also. They are intrigued. Say, okay, why my truck is standing, my bus is standing, my am I going? Hmm. After this scaffolding system or system, you have to repeat same thing as you repeat for slab. Raise your scaffolding, raise your system, run whole system, do next, and then do next, and then do next, and do next. You did the all slopes, all slabs. You may be doing 5, 6 slabs. Then you go outside of these areas or go to police and tell him that this my building is standing here. Please take care of this. I'll keep my units here. Okay? So you did that. So structural sequence, you can say it is nearly over. These are only explainable in a different mode. You explain your your yes, yes, yes. Heaven. Okay, activities which you liked are over. Activities you don't like, whatever. Like China says something, America says something, but what you have to think? Your people don't say anything. What to do? Okay, we go ahead, no problem. I have done this building first floor, then I do second floor, and I start finishes. Finishes means brickwork or block work in walls, then preparations of plastering and electric conduiting. After electric is over, you can do plastering on that or tiling on that or whatever, but tiling or plastering, whatever you do, plastering you have to do. Even if you have to just do some plastering, you have to do plastering. It's not earthable, it's not usable, it's not practical, you'll do that. So your building structure is over when you construct your walls and everything, or you build members, frame frames, frame members of those windows. Mm. You done brickwork, you know electric conduiting, and your building is ready for finishes. You start finishing whatever you want. I'm not going to do finishes because there's a I just want to tell. Don't allow walls to be erected with columns because that is not technical. Your structure is there, everything. And I'll discuss with you some plans about this. What actually my purpose was to discuss the plans, which is more significant than this, and this is here. For example, I'll give you something like that. Say it's a building, a plot, and there's a basement plan here. I think this is structural one. This basement plan here. Structural this is. Let me see where's architectural. Electrical this is. Okay. Where is this? Where is gone? You can see this is a plan here. I'm just showing you these plans for certain purpose because there are very great classes of plans, and how many drains are there, I don't even know. Then there's another table of next floor. This is structural. Yeah, next one. Those are the structural. This is what I'm just showing you. There's a difference in this. This is architectural. This is a considerable size of plot, which is about 418 square meter. The elevation. Elevation. This is another elevation. This is then another elevation. All elevations are necessary to be shown. The other elevation, one more. One more elevation. You can see a section through staircase. It's a very important point because the staircase is always very complicated. Don't be overconfident in stair details. Another plan. I'll take a service as well. Structural plan. I'm seeing a structural plan now. Structural plan, then there's another structural plan, and giving another structural plan. Then there is another further drilling of that. Hmm. What do you see complications? That's the one complications there. No, this excavation plan I worked out here, which is shown, H is shown here. This is excavation. Excavation to get on this line. Framing is all framing. Each frame is there. Well, there are five frames. Each are there. Okay, so this is a reverse plan. Reflex of how many reverse should be there in that plan. Same plan, different way. So you're getting at least these are foundation beams details here. They are loading details also. I'm not giving details, just calculations of this, and I give you details. This is a landscape, this building, internal, external. It's another type, optional. Another decoration, nothing to do with structural image, it's decoration only. There's another detail which Excel, which is for part building skill. We draw this on Excel. We will draw it with this complete files. We draw it on Excel sheets, this building tool, if possible, and we work on that. This is another one. This is bar chart, program chart. These are very activities and program is shown. What is this actually? And this is another part of this. It's balance work, not over program. This is for whole project. Balance works, remaining works, and not entire project. On that day, whatever is that, what is not remaining to be completed. Also, once again, show this for these bars also. See these bars. I'll show you the one. This is foundation connections. Now we'll go to some of the photographs which are different way. Well, that's the photographs. More I want to show you now in this, otherwise I will forget what is that. Can say yes, I don't know. Yeah. Sure, this is the one. Similarly, as previous one, this is the one. Little guided, little bigger. The same type of details, but little advanced. All details I am giving here. X-axis, Y-axis, the horizontal and vertical on both sides, X-axis, Y-axis, and these details here like this. I'll go down. Similar to this other one, similarly, as previous one, this other one, little wider, little bigger, the same type of details but little advanced. All details I'm giving here. X-axis, Y-axis, the horizontal and vertical on both side X-axis, Y-axis, and these details here like this. Well, results tests is shown after calculations of vertical results for actually foundation plans and integrated plans connecting all columns. They just try to calculate what loads are coming from there, what our projections are, what's in loading columns, etc. Is that one? And this is actually a group of drawings which I showed before. Whole drawings are there. If you go up and down, you find all these drawings here. For example, it's here. Oh my god, what else? This one size. Just go up, you'll find this here. So these are details I have shown to you for purpose of information. Now, what I said, you have to consider structure very seriously. Just consider, if structure falls, all your finishes will go away. People may die. If structure catches fire, it shall be a problem. You cannot save structure. If structure is well maintained, well constructed, proper covers are given, adequately strong enough to resist fire, resist wind, resist seismic actions, it can give you additional life to structures. Means if you design for say 20, 50 years, it can give 60 years, 70 years, 100 years. To an extent, you keep good covers, quality concrete, quality, you maintain quality by watering, by curing, and the structure is okay. Don't worry about finishes, because finishes are based on structural life. You cannot go to court or somewhere else. Oh, America, give me this one. My area is rising. My area is flooding. Uh, Structural covers are very important. As much cover you provide, as much heat it will protect to reach concrete and rebars. Water shall be smaller quantity reach there to maximum. There is no other item that can protect your penetration of water from concrete, external surface to internal surface of steel. If you make structural concrete safe, means there are so many tests which are conducted on site. For example, slump test, because when concrete comes here, it should have a defined quantities of slump. It should have a defined quantity of water cement ratio. It should not be more than a fixed time gap in which it must be used after mixing. You cannot say I was waiting for 2 hours, 3 hours. Somebody called me there. Means he explained his problem and he put the whole site to that. Had he brought out, had he, okay, I'll take it wrong. If you do not take slump test and think it is okay, slump test justifies that your concrete is workable, is is worth working, and animals feel that they will kill what is sin? That's the murder sin, or some fix sin. I think none of your cause him. Hmm? Yes. If you take that, that's fine. You must check slump. You must check temperature. Temperature should not be more than 32 degrees Celsius within 5 and 32 range in normal weather conditions. Weather should not be more than 32 degrees Celsius. If it's more than that, better not to do concrete. Do early morning when it is 5 to 32, or use hot water. Use cold water to keep it in chill mode. And don't think that if there is a cold weather, it's no need of curing. In cold or hot, it's same thing. You have to give curing until it's satisfied, happy. You can't be satisfied. You can't be happy. Concrete after this has chemical properties. For example, uh, hmm, even if you pay curing and you don't have good composition of concrete, it will not work. Curing is a must, but concrete is also a must. If your concrete is good, it is say M25, M30, M35. Now you may ask what is M35. Concrete on 28 days of casting is tested. What strength should have? Concrete should be defined. Concrete should define what strength should have. Generally, 25 above concrete nowadays is used in structural, not 20 mm, 10, 15 mm. They are used in schools or somewhere else for maintenance of ground. But for concrete of a field, it should be different. It should be different. Now, if I say M25 concrete is there, what does it mean? M25 says that now we are seeing M25 actually in previous times was the M250. This means it was 250 kilogram per centimeter square weight, design weight it can take. 250 kilogram is a stress of concrete it can take, not more than that on 28 days. That is meaning of that. So 25, when you say 25, you say 25 Newton per millimeter square. That was 250, I am telling, but it's not 25 millimeter, 25 Newton per millimeter square, and they say that 250 kilogram per millimeter square, just like that. Same meaning, no difference, but writing and chemically no changes. If this change technology is brought, change what people's name are, they use something else. And when the water quantity is there, water and cement have certain definite ratios that should not be more than zero point 0.3 or 0.35. Water should be 30% of that cement quantity used. Water cement ratio is not. It is annoying to you because you are not used to that. What that is a must. Comply. Comply. That is that you must get on that day. If you don't, that is for that purpose cubes are tested. If you don't get that slab, that strength that day, your concrete is not approved. Yeah, it is not approved. Because even though the slab, you will not be paid fully. You will be paid only for that quantity which you did. And if I am engineer, I am not engineer there, I shall not even label it. Stage. So concrete is very complicated item, though it appears to be just mixed cement and that. And there was more thing. Don't be confused with cement alone. What is cement you are using is that cement is thought of. Cement nowadays is also different class. Previous times it was only cement. Now many competitors have entered market. They are producing cement. They are producing some other materials. Yes, it's used in cement. What is this cement? Uses PC means PSC means project alternative professional. And there is a mini as project on also. Okay. So I am just slowing down my talk because it is very difficult to understand by a common man. If it is moving today, she is moving today. I waited for today, she is moving. Solid part? Yes. Concrete is done. You said I have done concrete. Now suppose in cement If you just, there's one cement called OPC, ordinary Portland cement. There's pure cement actually. Ordinary cement we have used before. But nowadays what happens? We are using some cement replacement materials. These are called supplementary cement materials. Examples are, we are using fly ash, that is called PFA, pulverized fly ash, which comes from blast very plants. There are power stations, there are many furnaces. From those this comes, and other one is GGBS, ground glass blast furnace lattices. It's very fine material, not like exactly like cement. And then there is another one material which is called microsilica or silica fumes. Silica fumes, just stress on its words. What does it mean? Let me pass something. Ah. So microsilica, PFA, GGBS, these materials are used to replace OPC to some percentages. Before we had OPC in 100% of concrete quantity. Now what we say, okay, we don't use 100% OPC, we use in place of that OPC, let us say 30% PFA, we remove 30% cement and mix that PFA. Or we sometimes say use 70% GGBS, down glass process like cement, they call it. So we, in the same combination of microsilica, we see use this type of condiment, and that's called Shiva. There is one more named called Brahma. We use Brahma by 8.2%, or 2%, 3%, 4%, 8%, or 9%. This means we can use microsilica, but one more thing I know, microsilica is not very cheap. It is very expensive because microsilica is smoke particles. This is like cement. When you smoke, there's a smoke outside, and that particle of microsilica is like that small particle. It's millions of particles of smoke we are putting into concrete. That is smoke. Once it enters that particle, it's difficult to beat that particle in any way. It's not that they're eating the particle. Okay, those three items you learned: one is microsilica, one is GGBS, one is pulverized fuel ash. what what do these items mean to go into concrete? If you just use OPC, which is pure form of concrete, it shall work only as concrete. If we use some common sense, you can use these items of 30% replacement or 70% GGBS replacement or 9-10% of microsilica replacement. You can use these items in cement and help cement to do better work, like lesser cracks in early hours when you just cook the slab. The slab should be kept wet the daily of then say celebration of what these articles do. Contribution of these particles in cement is, first of all, setting time is increased. Early strength gaining or early setting means there are chances of shrinkage of cement, and there's a shrinkage of concrete. Shrinkage of concrete means cracking also. But here, except water, they are going to change. Right? This is very complicated and very responsible statement I am just giving you, because you must understand what you are using in field. People don't understand, they don't tell you. And microsilica is always available in hangover in cement. When you use this concrete and lay on your locations, it is like water flowing. It is like water flowing. It jumps only in in-house mind and remaining keeps jumping. So these smoke particles coat cement particles of steel. These microsilica particles, which are silica fumes, these silica fumes enter into cement particle, reach their its level of participation and start following. "Hey, यहाँ तक क्या पाया? What we got?" Hmm. When these particles of silica fumes coat cement particle, these become part of concrete, and you have to provide vibration to that using nozzle vibrator, because these particles will not work until vibrated. These can remain in hangover for 8-9 hours together, which is a big quality of this microsilica, those expensive. Means even if you lay concrete, it will not set for many number of hours. It's only for microsilica. I'm not telling you GGBS and PFA. Microsilica is a super material, but is expensive. It shall help concrete steel not to be rusted. It shall hold penetration of water or moisture into concrete or steel. It shall help in many other ways. It will gradually increase quality of concrete. So these are better than, or you just make in one year or the other. So right, what I'm saying? Micro silica, maybe you are not aware of that, is expensive but very useful material. Second comes GGBS, ground glass versus slag. That is also like this, proven prototype, but it's not middle path based. Then gentlemen, you want to improve concrete or you want to use वही same बाबा आदम की जमाने की concrete? You want durability of concrete or you want durability of concrete? Now durability, again I am telling you what is durability. Durability means, suppose you design your work for 50 years or say 60 years, 100 years, and you put some quality in parameters in your concrete. This concrete should act like, it should be that much strong, it should be fire resistant, it should be water resistant, like this, whatever you thought of, it should be that. It should be stress free, or should take stresses as much as possible. And that service it should give you up to a period of 50 or 60 years, for which you intended this should give you service. And that if successful it gives you that service, and even more than that, that is termed as durability, which is the concrete is safe in service mode for such a long period without being deformed, without being distressed. This is that mean. So here I form a equation that what I understand about reliability. This was durability. I asked. But what is reliable? Reliable is personal word. Reliable is means you should. Okay. Once you prepare such kind of concrete, you will get rid of cracking. When you're cracking, you will get rid of early setting. Means it will take time to set its soundly, and you can care about sometime what happens is once you get this kind of concrete, after 1 year of its working, it shall work in a similar way as OPC works. And one more thing, when there were sulfates in soil, chlorides or sulfates, any chemical in soil, which used to be dangerous for soil future, which means dangerous for concrete future, because ultimately concrete is touching soil and foundations. That was a grim situation for engineers. So what they did, they are going to make the open laws of service, and it's right that they should please deconcentrate the service. That is very yeah. Mm. So what you got? You got a durable concrete, which is a part of reliability, and reliability means you have to rely upon this material time and again. According to my understanding, reliability means it is equal to, first it is safety, means this concrete is safe, that structure is safe which is built by this concrete and reinforcement combination. Then it is plus. Plus means dice. You have to privatize this. Okay, you got good concrete. So you said this is derivable, safe. Then I am saying it's not only safe, it is in service mode. Service mode. It should serve you for which load you designed this and constructed this. That load may be 200 kilogram per square meter you took load in your room. Maybe you took on a stair 400 or 500 kilogram per square meter. Maybe you consider in balcony 400 kilogram per square meter. Maybe you consider in your warehouse more than 500 kilogram. Or in a public place where metro train is there, you may consider 500, 600, 700 kilogram per square meter. It depends upon what room you have. Generally, in residence houses, load is not that much because it's movement of people and movement of household items. It's no movement of trucks or trains or like that. So in household items, maximum it goes 500 kilogram per square meter for certain item, stair item or some where there will be occupation for many hours that time. And that is one of the reasons thieves keep coming into colonies. They know that no strong interior there is protection cover is taken. Now reliability is equal to safety plus you can say service ability, safety plus service ability plus that you're building. Safety plus service plus durability. It should be safe, it should be resistant, it should be durable. When I do something, my work should be safe, service, and providing service with durability. Can't we do that? If you do that concrete this way, you will be happy that you did some good concrete, good work, and if that is good, its deformation will be limited, its deflection will be limited, its use shall be continued, and keep remembering. If these people do not understand, we make another position. Building got structure, but one thing you remember: if structure is made erroneously, you cannot rectify defects so cheaply. It is very expensive. If suppose by chance you made a wrong slab or wrong column, just imagine how stupid work you have to do. For months together, they can decide. Or it's just, decide. Okay. Now, in this book also, which I did long back, building practice book, which is CBS publisher, did long back. I have given some quantities, some not quantities, some activities in this book long back. And for example, I said that here BOQ's preparation here. I like to concentrate here on activities of buildings, which is more important than something else because I I make another sheet for the people later on. But now I'm just trying to tell what is there available in this. And just a little longer. See, when I was too young, that was too young. For example, a small paper there for bar chart. Bar chart. This is there for general activities. Just giving the bar chart how which item and bars there. This is just for information. This work also is done in planning of building, a part of engineering, and this is required to become mandatory. Without this, It's a program or schedule means when you just start and finish these activities. It's from that one's consideration only. But just you should be informed of this. If we are talking of buildings, and then there is, for example, this is a chart of material controls I'm showing you. This is a chart of metal controls. How metals are controlled. Then records, we have to record each and everything. Material controls means material submittals, material approvals, and their deliveries, and their orders, and delay or no delay, all are required to be recorded in a professional way, so that everything you have on papers, there is no use of sorting out files. Just check your computer if data entry is okay and see that where you stand. That is more important. It's very actually sometimes easy, sometimes difficult. For example, there are certain controls, company for controls for which node was written that time. Now it is more advancement. At that time, how company was controlled. The node is written that brief node long back. It was in 2000, 1980, in 1990 is written back. So now there will be a lot of changes. What is ready mix concrete? As written as a term ready mix concrete. What is ready mix? So now they are doing ready mix here, which is not a professional way. They do it. They are just doing a layman. But here, what is RMC? How it is done is a technology in itself. It's not simply RMC material. It's a complete technology. And I'm just looking at the activities have gone. I find that one. There was a brief about what a site person should do and a technical person site engineer should do. It is written in that what a site engineer should do. Briefs of that in though it was that time written in paragraphic way. Means what I have already given site role in another paper here, but it is much more advanced than this. Site engineer, land engineer, mechanical engineer, all is in this. What I'm doing activity and structure. Uh, There is a complete list of what a resident engineer means in your own job, design engineer job, originally what he should do, what are his roles and he should do this. We have complete long pages on that. What is job, but people are not doing in this country. That is unfortunate. Means they are just doing formalities only. Complete list is given in buildings, what they should do, each and everything. I don't understand why people are not serious in my Bharat. They call my Bharat and Bharat Mata ki jai, but they don't do what they should do. We don't want to live in Lara world. We have to live in real world, professional world, like in advanced countries. We call them advanced countries. So if you want to be advanced, you have to do all this seriously. Otherwise, you can never be advanced. You are advanced on your mind only, nothing else. And that is self happiness only, not having a real happiness. I don't know how this book was made at the time. I just based on my experience, I did it, and I don't even remember why I was so serious at that time. When people are not serious here in this country. We are not as serious. We don't want to be. We'll never be serious. We are serious only in living, dying, and that's it. Until you are serious, you can't be successful in life. Now, this was the activity of swimming pool. Is swimming pool of any building. Any building. This is a brief activity of swimming pool. I've written here. You can see operations activities for construction of a swimming pool below ground. Okay, these are many long list of that, and this is complete here. You can see the complete activities of that swimming pool. There no only two pages, more pages are there. Now then there is activities of building in this, there are activities in building. These activities are there. You can see here. and what poses it has. I'll show you that as well. Which I just learned, all details are here. Completely, it's a complete detailed one. Yeah. Actually, more and more pages are there of this. You can see more pages are there of this. You see. So, and I'll see some snaps. All snaps I have here, I can see there also. Which are just interesting, means old design, old snaps are there. I'll show you that. Just for your references. Yes, it is here. See, it's 1980, 80, I think, 86. This was a site, you can see that in 1986, I am talking not now. This was a school building site which we constructed in Doha, Qatar in 1986, 87. You can see that glimpse, and another glimpse of that. Can you even see? Concreting operation, you see a pump, mobile pump. That time in 1970, still not available in this country. It was available in 1986, mobile pump in Doha, Qatar. Construction of a school building was going on. This type of pump is still not there in our country. Various stages of this building, with all black and white, no size of the color photos at this time, all gone. We see size of columns and steels and distances and columns. This is the hall here, column of hall. This is about I just show you for reference only, but people should know what happened that time. Concreting and concreting and concreting, concreting and concreting and concreting. You can't see such type of old photographs these days. This was a mosque there, foundation of a mosque in that time, small mosque. So these are only extra machines that time is excavated on those which are now available these days in this country also. But that time it was there. So then I had my own sketches here which I prepared myself for purpose of site working and others, which are very many, which I'll show you later on. I can't show now. We have preparatory works management here done this way. All various types of construction activities which can be done based on my own experience. I did it. But I just because there are many drawings. I show only for few for purpose of these activities which were done only for your information. I am showing this. I will not show now all because there are many sketches here. So why I said that, for example, this is another one. These all hand sketches, no computer here, nothing. Just hand drawn sketches using ballpoint pen and pencil, nothing else. You even can't dream these days, you people cannot do this. But we used to do in those days and anyway, and this is the cover of this. Anyway, just for information, I said this, nothing to do with this online. So what I am stating is that we have to make our country a standard one, or we have to remain talking only. This is only one community in this country which can decide, and that community is engineering community. If engineers can change a country, they can change a country. If they think they can change, but engineers should be changed by state first. Nobody knows who are engineers in our country. Government does not know, law does not know, and engineers themselves don't know. Engineers are just interested in personal activities. They don't care. They must get job and do. People are not interested to serve public, and those who are working in government somewhere, you know how they are working. It's not a question of criticism. It's not a requirement of something else. But what I see, even if engineers are interested something to do, those engineers will not be allowed to do. All government engineers, first of all, I don't consider them engineers. Maybe few percentages are there, serious people, but in general, I'm talking that they are not interested in engineering. They are only interested in positions and posts and promotions and how much money can be earned on that post. They are interested only in friendship with leaders, political leaders, and powerful people. They are not interested to check what type of quality of concrete is there, what type of excavation is there, how work is being done. No one is going to sites to check from junior engineer to chief engineer. All are traveling in same boat, which is really very deteriorating stage of engineering profession in our country. They may show very good photographs, very good videos, colored one with cover up all the facts. Nobody is concerned. What about defects? What about real works? And that is seriousness which I consider. And that's why I say we are a sleeping society. And this is my standard now. We are a sleeping society and we are non-serious society. If engineers are like that, I can't expect what others would do. I'm not talking of doctors, I'm not talking of lawyers, because lawyers I don't consider as professionals, judges are not considered professionals because they don't have any respect for profession. If it just delivers a judgment 40 years, how can you say that that person is a professional? And an advocate doesn't support just to deliver in 2 years or 1 year, how can you say that advocate is a professional? So engineering project must be delivered within a couple of years, 1 year, 6 months, or 2 years, or 3 years. Even a power plant should be delivered a period of 1.5 year or 2 years, and that is delivered also. But delivery is not required. Delivery must be professional. Just like a person is professional, a document should also be a professional, a package should also be professional, and the project should also be professional. You constructed a project just for sake of construction, for sake of inauguration by Prime Minister or inauguration by someone else, and without caring about quality and every other aspect, and just having certification of a quality management, ISO 9000 agent, and that's it, and nothing else. That is not acceptable in profession of engineering at world level. I'm not criticizing engineers, not at all, because same engineers are working abroad also, overseas also. In all, Gulf is constructed by civil engineers, by mechanical engineers, by electrical engineers, and due to professional work there. We can work off this country. We can work day and night. We can understand specification. We can apply for specification. We can design. We can apply designs. But in this country, we do not do that. We do less and we show more. We control less and we show more. This is our character. Because there is some other force that encompasses us. We are not in controls. I'm not blaming because they don't have control. Controls are in hands of those who are not qualified engineers. For example, Indian Administrative Services. Those engineers are those bureaucrats are in power, and those leaders above them, they are in power. None of them is professional. They just want to show that this minister is inaugurating, and for that purpose you have to finish this project by that date. Otherwise there's no meaning of your project. Bridge may collapse, it doesn't matter, but that should be inaugurated. There may be accident on the express, so it must be inaugurated on that day. That is seriousness here, not work seriousness. Our culture has not developed till now at a professional level. That is my seriousness. We may not achieve it in 100 years, as system exists like that. Dishonesty exists everywhere, malfunctioning exists everywhere, cheating exists everywhere, deceiving exists everywhere, non-compliance exists everywhere, non-seriousness exists everywhere, chalta hai attitude exists everywhere, religion exists everywhere. Professional religion doesn't exist, but religion exists. See, profession itself is a religion because you are professing something. I don't understand. If you are called I'm a Muslim, means you are professing Islam. If you call that I'm Vedas, you are professing Vedas. Similarly, engineering is a religion. It's not that only engineering is a profession because you are professing engineering. That is the meaning why it's called professional. A medico says, I am professional because he professionally medical service. So I am professional in engineering service, and that is my first religion, not my Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai religion. That is my body's religion. That is not my mind's or my soul religion. My mind and soul says I am a professional engineer or whatever I am. That is my first religion. Second religion is my body, which my father and mother delivered. There is a difference. That day you understand a professional religion, you will change your mind, you will change your thinking. It's not a question of preaching or guruism. It's a question of fact. You learned something in your university. For what did you learn? To be corrupt with these corrupt people, even bureaucrat or leaders, some others, just for sake of money, because you have to maintain your job, you have to maintain your service, because you have to maintain your family. For that purpose, you are doing everything wrong. This is not profession, then this is commercial work. This is, you can say, prostitution. Then what is there? If you are entangled with those people who are corrupt and you are using your engineering power for that, you are abusing your engineering profession. Of course, you are earning money, indeed, but yet money is illegal. You are earning. You are earning your salary only. Whatever you may earn lakhs and crores and bungling and every corruption. That is not your money. There you have no right on that money, but you are making that. And you are having status, having cars, you are having fellows, I'm engineer, I'm chief engineer, and your leadership quality, and you are having friendship with leaders, you are having friendship with IAS officers. You are, okay, enjoy that one, then forget that you are engineer. Engineering itself is Vishwakarma. It's Devta level. It's God level. God engineered this world and he also support this world. So you are doing that service, engineering service. You learn so much theory for that. You learn so many formulas for that. You want so many conceptions. You imagine, oh, how long beam can I design? You imagine, imagination means you are imagining and doing something. This beam is 30 meters. Can I design or not? This is 40 meters. Can I design or not? This height is this much. Can I manage it or not? If I walk below this, my head should not strike beam. You are taking so many consideration into your engineering profession. But what is the result? Ultimately, you are meeting with those people who are corrupt. You have no courage to fight with them. You have no courage to break their head, lower head. Then you are saying, I'm engineer, I'm chief engineer, I'm member director. You are having positions, nothing else. Your conscience is dead. Your considerations are dead. You are not religious in profession, you are religious in society. That's difference. My seriousness, actually, I consider myself fool, really. I consider myself as fool because I am doing all this nonsense, wasting your time and that. But I don't know why. I don't understand why. I did 6 years work in Daily Development Authority in the start, and I condemned that. I quit that one. I didn't like that. Because I wanted to become an engineer, not a doll for these bureaucrats and doll for these leaders. No, I didn't want to be that. I left this country, better go somewhere else where engineering is valued. This happened. I want to learn engineering. I didn't want to learn this herapheri, corruption, commission. निकाल के समेट ले जाओ जी, उठा लो, 1000 बैग लाए तो बाहर कर दो 200 बैग, निकाले सरिया छत में लगाने के बाद ऐसे होता था. Yeah, you have fixed skill, everything is approved. After a year, go somewhere, take out some bars from here. This country is like that. People have no hesitation. छत गिर गया यार, बम चला दिया, किसी ने गिरा दिया, वो कोई बम रख के चला गया, गिर गया. These are excuses. So who can change it? You think Vishwakarma will come, Devta will come, God will come, they will help you. They will never come to corrupt people. They will never support corrupt engineers. They will never support corrupt politicians, never support that country where people are corrupt. And in fact, we have taught corruption to the whole world. That is also true. We are born engineers. We are made engineers to make a society, to make a world, to make a nation. But we are not doing that. We are born engineer to make my family, to make my kids, to make my wife, to make my house, to make my show that I have 4 cars, I have 3 bungalows, I am a world tour, I am a world traveler. How can you travel world without money? And from where you get this money? Who supports you? If your salary is limited, how can you do all that? You can't even buy books to upgrade yourself. And you are saying you are spending money of crores for your children admission into medicals and let them go to Harvard or somewhere else. From where are you getting this money? This means you are not an engineer, you are a thief. You are a robber like politicians, you are a robber like IS officers. You are not engineer. Why do you call engineers? Don't give that name. Well, I'm just talking to you for sake of personal interaction. My purpose was not that. My purpose was about this engineering, which I want to, at least I want to see that those youth who are coming out, they know something. Because these corrupt people cannot teach anybody. These cannot teach. All these chiefs and superintendents and all others, those big people who are now retired, all those, they just don't know what to do. They are asset to nation. A retired chief engineer, a retired SC should be asset to nation, but they are not considered assets because they are just sitting and sleeping, caring about their kids, caring about the grandsons, caring about that. They are not caring about all grandsons in this country. All those who want to understand something, who want to know take something out of my experience are my kids. Not only my kids are my kids. Whole world people, those who want to get knowledge from me or someone else, they are all seekers. We have to help them because all come from same family of God. Vasudev Kutum, you want it wrong. So everybody is your relative. Why my kids only relative, your kids only relative? Everybody, Vasudev Kutum means that. If you accept in that, either don't accept this. If you accept this, you respect everybody. And moreover, whatever I know, by virtue of my experience, by virtue of my experience and practical experience and qualification or interactions with whole world of people, I have worked with more than 50 nationalities in my life. I have known something from there, they know something from me. So this knowledge should be not abused. This should be used for people to spread, to disseminate something to them. If they know something, if I know something from you, that is required. Ultimately, I have to go to my real home. So what shall I take with me? I leave my body here, I leave my wealth here, everything here. My soul will go with me. So if you share something out of me, what I'm losing? Nothing I'm losing. If I expect I should be paid something, sun is charging you something for sunlight, rain is charging something from you, this earth is charging something from you. Who is charging something from you for use of? You are using earth, you are using rain, you are using the sun, you are using mountains, you are using fields, crops, everything you are using, water you are using. Are you paying back to God? You are not paying anything. No one is paying anything. But this is mine. It belongs to me. This is concept. Everything is given by nature and we are using it everywhere. And then we are on all of this. Well, that's my concept and you may differ with that. I don't care. You will not accept me. You are practical, I am theoretical, that's different. You may say that. I want chair, I don't want chair, believe me. I don't want chair. I don't know anything. I just am waiting for the day I have to go, and that's all. And I don't know to sit. If I have some tools, I have a computer, I have a laptop, I have facility of internet, I am just using that and that's it. Nothing else. I have nothing to do with anything else. If I did not have this, then I would write something and publishing. You cannot publish that. If I write a book and go to publisher, I have done that. They don't accept. Oh, this is not worth. It is not commercial. They accept only those tools which students read. They don't accept those tools which professionals can read. And it happened with me. Professionals don't read books written by professionals. They don't read books. They may search something. If I write a book, nobody will come and buy that. This is practical. So I faced this in my life. I don't care for it. My purpose was not earning money. Never. Because earning money is not exclusive part of life. Money is one part of life, but not exclusive part. There are so many parts in life. So if I have energy, if I have mind, if I have potential, if I can do something, I will do. If I don't, then I have no problem. I'm sick, man. I'm physically handicapped. I cannot do that. Sleep every whole day, take food, eat, and sleep, and that's it. Nothing else. And if I can be useful to society, fine. And I'm not considering only this country my society. No, whole country, whole world is my society. Because I have seen many people in many nationalities, and people are same everywhere. You go to Arab, you go to Africa, you go to somewhere else, you go to England, you go to America, you will find only color change and some features change and nothing else. Mind is same, thoughts are same. Everybody wants to get money without work. This is same. People want to steal work. All labor are same. All workers are same all over the world. You go to Egypt, you go to Libya, you go to Far East, you go to your country, everybody wants money without work. This is general tendency. So you can't change that. I can't change that. Anyhow, thank you very much for kind attention. We'll see you later on for continuation of this talk. I will continue if it's possible, if I'm alive next time. If I'm not alive, then bye bye. What to say? Okay, thanks. Bye. यार ये चलता क्यों है?